Miami, we have about 2 minutes to spend together, a little less than that. What's on your mind?
Oh, Bruce, I hope you can help me. I moved into this apartment where I live now exactly 1 month ago today. The deal was that I had to pay 3 months. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, $450 a month. When I moved in, I gave the landlady a check for $1,012. That was 2 months' rent and a fourth of the security deposit, which was, part of the third month. And they gave me 4 months to pay the security.
All right.
The problem is there is no owner of this building. The previous owner foreclosed, so the bank owns this place.
Well, the bank is the owner then.
Yeah. I don't even know which bank it is, but the landlord and his wife live in this building, and everything in this place is broken. The air conditioner is broken, the refrigerator is broken, it's been repaired 3 times.
Let's just relax now.
I was promised twice that the refrigerator would be replaced.
By whom?
By the landlord.
Yeah, but he's out of it now. If you tell me it's been foreclosed, it now belongs to the bank. Your bank is who you pay your rent to?
To the landlord. I've been here a month. I moved in here a month ago today.
You said it's in foreclosure.
Yeah, but the landlord is just a manager. He's a manager.
Well, I go down and talk to the bank who owns the place.
Okay, everything in this place is broken. Now, my rent's going to be coming up in a few days, and I'm supposed to give them a check or pay them $562, which is $450 for rent, and $112.50, which would be the second payment onto the final month, for security. And how would it be if I just gave them the month's rent?
Well, now wait a while. You're asking for illegal advice, and I can't give you that. I would. Yes, you see, you're into a kind of a tangle here where the landlord used to own the place, now he's running it for the bank because the bank has foreclosed on a mortgage and so forth. I suspect that in your situation, you might want to spend $50, drop by one of the legal clinics. You'll talk to a young attorney who can tell you what your rights are under Florida law, because they vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. I don't want to tell you to go off and withhold something and then get yourself in a big bind. I don't want to put your lease in jeopardy. I know you don't want to do it, but I'd spend that money. Good luck. I'm Bruce Williams for Talknet. Yes, Mike. I'm sitting here, I'm listening to this music, and I'm saying, you see, Michael isn't here today, and I'm wondering, what is that all about? I'm daydreaming. I'm thinking we're starting an hour, and we're already into this hour, so I apologize. Arlington, Virginia, I did it to you. Hello there.
Hello.
Oh, you got to keep me sharp, Arlington. Come on.
Well, this is Arlington, Virginia calling, and I wanted to tell you that I listen to you a lot, and I enjoy your advice, and I thought maybe you could give me some advice.
What are you up to?
Yes, I've lived in a high-rise apartment in Arlington, Virginia for the past 17 years. I live in one apartment with my 85-year-old mother, and then my daughter lives in another apartment with her teenage daughter. Now, the teenage daughter, you know how it is with teenagers.
How is it with teenagers? Tell me.
Well, the stereo goes a little too high, and sometimes they get a little too rambunctious. And so my granddaughter makes noise, and I'm evicted. And
you're evicted?
I'm evicted, and I can't figure it out. And then my daughter is evicted. I have an attorney that's taking care of the eviction proceedings.
Well, when you say he's taking care of, what does that mean?
Well, it means that my case hasn't come up.
Are you still in the apartment then?
Oh, I'm still in the apartment.
Oh, okay. When you say evicted, I thought that was past tense. Your stuff's out in the street, and you're praying it doesn't rain.
No, but I tell you, I've been through an awful lot of nervousness and chaos and whatever you want to call it, and so has my mother. We can't understand why we would be evicted for something that happened on another floor with another family, even though we're all related, you know. So
I don't see how they can I don't see how they can base one on the other. Let's assume that the teenagers are real miscreant, really raising hell. Okay, what's that got to do with you?
Well, that's what I don't understand. It's just a personality conflict that I've had with the manager for quite some time.
What's that all about?
Well, that was my question to you. I've lived in this building for 17 years, and I also worked in this building for about 12 years in the rental office. So when the new manager came in 7 years ago, she took an instant dislike to me and also to my family. And
forget the family for a moment. Let's kind of let your case, which seems to me, now maybe I'm wrong, please correct me.
Sure.
Your situation kind of has to rise and fall on its own, doesn't it?
Well, yes, I would imagine so, but it's all interlocked, the two cases, because the two eviction cases come up at the same time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So she doesn't like you, okay. People don't like, but
Yeah.
do you have any pipelines back to the manager? Is it the same people owning the place that when you worked there?
Yes, but he's not the owner of the building, has passed on to his power, I guess you'd call it, to his son, and his son is the property manager. And I went down and I talked to the son, and I've also written a letter, and I've told him that it's a personality conflict. And that the manager just dislikes me intensely.
Well, so what does he say about that?
And he said, "Oh well, she's a wonderful person, and I love her like a mother. And what are you going to do? I mean, this is the owner's son speaking. But I also I think it's extremely unfair, and I don't know how this eviction notice is going to come out. You know, I guess it will be on the docket shortly. But what I wanted to ask you, do you think that I should pursue it like defamation of character, or
let's broaden the question, can we? If you're asking me, do I believe should you go after the manager?
Yes.
In somewhat of a counteraction, the best offense in the world is the best defense, good offense. Now, what is you broached that to your attorney? What does he say?
Well, he says that I would. He only specializes in tenant and landlord relations, and I would have to go on to another attorney. And I just, you see what the whole thing is. I even called my congressman's office, and
how did the congressman get in this?
Well, they take care of tenant and landlord problems too.
They do?
Yeah, they've been very helpful. And so they called the property manager. This is the son of the owner of the building. And he said that I had been a horrible tenant for 17 years.
Well, can they let's talk about that for a moment. It's easy for me to say, boy, you're an SOB.
Yeah.
But let's be specific. What can they point to? Worst case that you have done. For example, you pay your rent on time?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Right on time.
Okay, so they can't say that you're a deadbeat. Let's
No.
start with that.
That's right.
Have you had... Now, I'm picking on things seriously. Don't laugh at me.
Sure.
Can they say that the apartment has been rodent infested?
Oh, no.
Or in any other way compromised?
No.
They can't point... No, that's yes or no.
Sure.
Okay, they
It's
can't
lovely.
they can't point to that.
No.
All right. Has there been complaints about you from the other tenants that you can talk about?
No.
None whatever?
No.
Okay.
Not one.
Not a one?
Not one.
All right. If they were to walk into your apartment tomorrow, would it be reasonably clean and neat and so on and so forth?
Well, it's a 3-bedroom, immaculate apartment that I share with my mother.
So there'd be no problem if you said, come on and take a look around?
Right away.
Okay. Well, you're not into drugs or anything of that nature?
No.
I mean, being high parties, that sort of thing?
No.
Well, tell me, what are they going to point to making you a bad tenant? Now, you got to, when someone makes a statement of that kind, they should be fairly specific. What? And who said this, that you're a horrible tenant?
The resident manager said that I was a horrible tenant, and she passed it on to the property manager.
Well, I want to know what if you it got her in witness stand. Okay, what is a horrible tenant? Your turn. You just climbed into her pantyhose. You or she?
Yeah. Well,
what is the worst thing she could say about you? And about be tough on yourself.
A few months ago, I went to the desk, and it was sort of I'm an asthmatic, and I can't walk real fast, and I had an emergency phone call to make, and I asked her if I could please use her desk phone.
What was the nature of the emergency?
Well, the emergency was I was trying to get my granddaughter on the school bus, and the school bus didn't come, and I was going to call the school to make sure that the bus did stop.
That's hardly an emergency.
Well, it is an emergency for me, but I mean, I asked her in a very nice way.
Okay.
A very nice way, and we had words over it because
What kind of words?
Yeah, well, someone walked in from outside. She told me I couldn't use the phone, and then a man walked in from outside, and he picked up the phone and called one of the tenants and said, "Your ride is here." And I said to her, well, why can he use the phone? And I've lived in the building for 17 years, and this is the first time in years that I've asked to use this desk phone. And she said that this is not an emergency, and go up and use your own phone. And she was very, very rude to me. And 3 days later, I got the eviction notice.
That's it?
That's it.
That's the only altercation you've ever had with this broad?
Other than I worked with her and for her for 2 years, and we got along fairly well, although I knew she had an intense dislike for me because I've been a resident manager for years.
Okay, I got to pick. Right now, if everything you tell me is true,
yes,
and that's a big if, now it's a qualifier,
yeah,
I would seek another attorney's opinion
yes,
as to what you could do in terms of a counteraction against her and the management of the building and everybody else in sight, including their mother-in-law.
Well, can someone tell things about you that's not
They
true?
can say whatever they want to say.
Uh-huh.
And if your reputation is damaged,
Uh-huh.
then you have an action.
Yes.
Now, you're going to have to prove damages, and that's a whole other thing which we can't get into right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I put you through this exercise deliberately to look for holes. Now, if you've been honest, but please, when you say an emergency, they take you apart on that one. A kid getting on a bus is not an emergency, baby.
Yeah.
It really isn't. You see, you might want to change that to I had a phone call I felt was urgent. Emergency, no.
Yeah.
Because they'll cut you apart. And you see your credibility goes right down the toilet.
Well, you see, the whole thing is, living in the building for 17 years,
Yeah, go ahead.
I just thought that...
What you thought is unimportant. You're trying to improve. Look, I'm the judge, and I got to let you go. I'm the judge, right?
Yeah.
You said I have to make an emergency call. I figure somebody's dying upstairs. They had a heart attack. Your mother broke a hip. You tell me a kid on a school bus. You just destroyed your credibility. If you're going to lie to me that way, or at least that's your perception, then I got to distrust all of your other perceptions. Do you understand?
Well, it's just...
Either you do or you don't.
I just couldn't understand why a stranger from outside...
That isn't the issue. That's not an issue.
Well, it's coming...
No, it's not an issue.
Well, how about someone
I'm trying to save your butt. It's not an issue.
Well, how about someone coming in from outside?
That's not an issue.
Oh.
How many ways can I say it? It is not. If she wants to let Attila the Hun use her phone, she has a right to. And if she wants to deny Jesus Christ the phone, she has a right to. That's not. But what I'm telling you is you are undermining your credibility when you talk about emergencies and a kid getting on a bus. Because you've told me all these nice things. Now you put them in some doubt in my mind. Understand? That's all I'm suggesting to you. Good luck with it. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. We go down to Glendale, California. Hello, Glendale.
Hello, Bruce. This is Ray. I'm calling from Glendale.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
That's great. I got a question about VA I'd like to ask you about.
Go ahead.
Okay, about 6 years ago, I purchased a house from my boss.
From your boss?
From my boss, yeah. In order to qualify, the real estate agent said that I would have to make $2,000 a month in order to qualify for the loan.
Okay.
Well, my boss said, well, you're due for a raise, no problem. We'll go ahead and give you the raise.
Okay.
So when escrow closed...
That was a raise to 2,000. Did he give you the raise?
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay.
When escrow closed, he went ahead and bought a business up north, and I didn't get the raise. So the house went into foreclosure.
Well, wait a minute. Just because you didn't get the raise, the house went...
Right, I couldn't make the payments. I had went in with a friend, so I figured, well, even if I didn't get the raise, I would be able to make the payments because my friend would be paying half of the mortgage and I would be paying half.
So what happened?
Well, as soon as we moved into the house, he got in a motorcycle accident. His wife quit her job, And that left me with just paying, $1,000 a month payments. And I couldn't swing it.
Okay, so you lost the house.
So I lost the house. I'm in the market for buying another house now.
Mm-hmm.
I got good credit. Everything's on the up. But I contacted the VA, and they said that I owed a balance of $5,086. And that if I paid that, they would qualify me again to purchase another house.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, you don't have to buy the house through the VA.
in the long run, it seems like I'm going to be saving a little bit of money. I only got $10,000 to work with.
In the long run, I don't think you're going to get a VA loan.
Really?
Long or short run.
Even if they said that if I paid the debt from the past, that they would give me a letter of eligibility?
Well, they may. They may well. But then all right. So what are you asking me? Should you pay off the $5,000 some odd dollars?
Right. I know I owe it to them, but I'm saying, okay, if I pay the $5,000, well, it's up to $6,100 now because of the interest.
It's hard for me to believe that you're going to get that much more favorable treatment through the VA. I'm not telling you shouldn't meet your obligation. That's a whole different thing.
Right.
But it's hard for me to believe that you're going to get that much more favorable terms through the VA that would justify it. Putting aside the morality and the rest of that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That would pay to do that. Have you looked for other mortgages elsewhere?
Yeah, they want about $14,000.
What do you mean they want? You mean down?
For a down payment.
And you got 10.
Right.
Well, wouldn't it make more sense to go borrow the 4 someplace or get an extra job and round up the 4 so you get the 14 than it would be to go back and go to the VA and give up 6? Now you've only got 4 to put down? Your $10,000 spread there.
Well, according to the realtor, okay, if I'm looking for a house for about $115,000.
And how much do you earn?
Between me and my wife, we own about $32,000.
You earn?
Our net is about $3,200 a month.
That's 32. How much do you earn gross, 2 of you?
Gross?
Gross.
Gross, $3,200.
Both of you?
Both of us.
Well, you just told me net a minute ago.
I'm sorry, it's $3,200 gross.
That's 32, 34, 36, 5 a year or something like that.
Right around there, yeah.
You have no business looking at a $115,000 house.
You figure that's too high?
You're going to be back in the same barge again you were in before.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Way too high.
So you feel I'm better off just waiting then?
Well, your top number right now is 80. 82.
Really?
Absolutely. Based on your income.
Okay, I know, that's what the realtor, I asked her what we qualified for, and she said, with your income, you qualify for $150. That's qualified.
Yeah, you qualified for the other house too, didn't you? And you lost it.
Right.
And you were in better shape to pay the other house in terms of your income than the one you're talking about now.
Really?
Absolutely. In my opinion, you got to lower your sights or raise your income, one or the other. I wish you well, my friend. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. They tell me my program is the most listened to talk show in the nation. Well, you made it possible. My thanks from the bottom of my heart. We got a Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hello there.
Hello, Bruce. I'm hoping you can help me.
Let's chat.
I had an air conditioner installed a little over 4 years ago. Every year since then, I've had to have them out here. They all say there's a leak, and they fill it with Freon, and the next year it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this happened again a week ago. We had temperatures in the high 80s and no air.
Well, nobody can tell you where the leak is?
No, and I called the distributor, and he gave me the owner's name of the company that installed it. He says, you get a hold of him and tell him to get out there and get it fixed. I called the fella. He says, well, we'll wait till it warms up. Well, my warranty will end this year.
Well, first of all, you write them a letter.
Right.
Just listen to me. Write both the distributor and the person who sold you the unit a letter, making a certified letter, which doesn't mean a whole bunch except you have a receipt for it.
Yeah.
That you tell them that you mention the fact that you have this problem, and that you are making note of the fact that while your warranty expires, that you are putting them on notice well before the expiration of the warranty that this problem exists, so that the expiration of the warranty will not affect this claim, and it should not affect the claim.
Good. Let's hope it helps.
Well, it shouldn't affect the claim at all, because you put them on notice well during the warranty period that you've got a problem.
Yeah.
Finding a leak is something else. That's tough. It's a central air, right?
Yes, right.
It can be tough to find a leak, but not impossible.
Well, I mean, after all, they've been out here 4 times.
What have they been doing? Soaping the lines and that kind of stuff?
Well, the last time I soldered it, so that should do.
Uh-huh. Well, sooner or later they should be able to find the free. It's got to be obviously a very slow leak.
Well,
You get a whole season out of it, right?
yeah, I get the season.
That's a very slow leak. That's tough to find. It really is.
Okay, well, I'll see what I can do.
Well, but do write those letters.
I will.
And
I'll do it right away.
And of course, you'll keep copies.
All right.
Take good care.
Thank you.
North Fort Myers, Florida. Hello there.
Hello there, Bruce. How are you?
I am well, thank you. What's
How's your mother?
Oh, she's doing fine, thank you.
Good. You were talking about something today about the airlines, that you were going to have a program on the airlines, and I had bought one of those instant tickets, and I just wondered if there's any way that I can get...
Well, when you say instant tickets, what do you mean? You mean the tickets where you get a very low fare, but you can't refund them?
Right.
Yeah, well, and what happened?
Well, I was there, but the plane wasn't there. This was, during the winter months.
Well, tell me about it.
And they made another flight, they gave me another flight for the next day.
Yeah.
And I was there again, and the plane was also delayed again.
Yeah, how much was it delayed?
2 hours, which screwed up everything because they were going to have it was for a wedding, Valentine's Day, and my niece was going to meet me at the Newark Airport and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't get her on the phone, and I had to call my brother and all this stuff, and it was just a mess.
And?
So I came back home. It was just, I decided not to go because it was all screwed up that way.
I think they would owe you a refund on that. You see,
I wrote them a very nice letter.
There's no question. Let's start at the beginning. When you buy one of these non-canned tickets, that's the way it is. But since they asked you to go the next day, and even the next day the flight wasn't there,
right,
then I think you're entitled to a refund. And what'd they say?
I haven't heard from them yet.
Well, I suspect they'll give you a refund. Or at least, if they won't give you a refund, they'll give you a credit toward another trip.
That's what I asked them for. I said, at any time that I would be willing to take a ticket to be used within a year or whatever at any time.
Yeah.
But
I think you'll find they'll honor that. If they don't, you drop me a note. Remind me of this conversation, and we'll see if we can use our persuasiveness to see if they give you a refund. But I think when people say, well, I couldn't go, I had to change my plans. But when they cancel a flight, and then that doesn't dovetail with your plans the following day, then I think there's a point where they have to be reasonable. Hi, Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. All right, Lapeer, what can I butchered your name. I apologize.
Don't apologize to me.
What's up?
Well, first, let me tell you how much I enjoy your program.
Thank you much.
I run a paper route in the morning, early wee hours,
Oh, yeah.
and you keep me company.
Well, I'll do my best.
I probably spend more time with you than I do my husband.
Mike, I won't even pick up on that. What's happening?
We live in the town of Lapeer, but we also own a house trailer on 1 acre about 5 miles out of town that we keep our horses on. Now, up until...
Oh, you keep horses on 1 acre?
Yeah, we just dry feed.
Okay.
We've been doing it for years, and the horses are in wonderful condition.
How many horses?
Just 2 now.
Okay.
We rented that up until November of last year, and then when the last renters moved out, we didn't feel it was rentable anymore. Some friends of ours just lost their farm, as in lock, stock, and barrel. And we have talked to them and told them if they want to move in there and do the fixing that is needed to make it livable, which I don't think we're talking more than $300 or $400 if you just want to, get in, that they can live there rent-free for a couple years until they get on their feet again.
That's very generous of you.
Well, really not, because she's going to move in a couple horses, she's going to take care of my horses, and it'll be easy.
There's a quick bow pro here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, my question is, when I spoke to them about this yesterday, I told them that I was going to go to a lawyer and have some papers drawn up. And you've mentioned before that disclaimers don't do any good.
Well, you should have a lease.
A lease?
Sure, a lease between you and them.
Okay.
I mean, you're renting them the property on the basis of they are providing a service, and you're giving them the property in return for that service.
Oh, and that will protect us in case they get hurt on the property?
Well, it's their, again, they're not your employee. You let your attorney guide you in this regard, but you're going to have first of all, you're going to still have to carry insurance. Let's start with that premise.
Liability.
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No
You're going to
question.
carry because you get the horses and the rest of the gig.
Right.
But it would seem to me that you're going to enter a rental agreement with them. Now, you're going to sign a dollar value to it, which could complicate your taxes a little, but not much. Where the fair rental is, pick a number, $100 a month, to be forgiven for, feeding the horses, or, you could spell it out in very general terms, what their responsibilities are. You shouldn't have any problem with that.
Okay. If, rather than renting, I have to rent it for fair market value, though. I mean, could I just lease it to them for $1 a year or something?
No, you don't want to do it that way, I don't think. What difference does it make? You're looking for the taxes, you mean?
Right.
I would look, we're talking nickels and pennies here. You told me the trailer's a shambles, right?
Yeah.
So maybe $100 a month. Is $1,200 a year going to hurt you?
Well,
In paper income? The answer is no.
I don't earn very much money, Bruce.
Well, in that case, it's going to hurt you less.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
If you earn a lot of money, if you're in the top bracket, is where it hurts you the most. Isn't
But
that
see,
true?
I've depreciated this as much as I can.
Well, we're not talking about that. I just think, go to your attorney.
Okay.
And have him set it up. But I would suggest to you that the way to go about this is to have an arrangement where they are leasing the property from you. There is a tenant-landlord relationship, but they don't pay any money because they're providing a valuable service to you.
Okay.
And be certain that service doesn't have to be covered by workers' compensation. No, but you're laughing. I'm serious.
It never occurred to me that feeding my horses would have to be covered by workers' compensation.
If they're an employee, they have to be covered.
Yeah. Okay.
So just be certain.
Make sure they're not in
Just
an
be certain. That's right. That there's not an employee-employer relationship.
Okay,
here.
good.
That's all. And that's what your attorney gets paid for.
Great.
I wish you well, dear.
I have another quick question. Do you have time?
I wish we had time, but perhaps another segment. Okay? We'll do it again. By golly, that puts that hour right in the basket. It does indeed. I want to thank you very much, Ziggy and Mr. What's your name in there, Brennan? Yeah, man, picking on me again. But we've had a good hour, thanks to you. Oh, by the way, if you haven't received your list of terms from us, just drop me a note. Bruce Williams, care of this Talknet station, and ask for the list of terms. Include an envelope with your address on it and a stamp. We'll get it out to you. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. KSTP, the talk station. Newark, Ohio. Hello there. Welcome to my world.
Hi, Bruce. Been looking for you, listening to you off and on for many years now.
Well, thank you very much. Glad to have you with us. What's on your mind?
I have went to a friend of mine. I'll dispense with the preliminaries, and to see if I could earn some extra money on a part-time basis.
What does this friend do that would allow you to do that?
He sells advertising specialties.
All right, like pens and wallets and that kind of stuff?
All kinds, everything. He's got his own company.
Calendars and that?
Right. I have a few contacts that I thought I could establish have had a relationship established, and I thought I could make some money. So in our discussions, he gave me some catalogs and so forth, and asked me how much time I thought I could spend and so forth. And then in the process said that we would now the normal charge if we got the full fee from these people, that we would split with them 50-50. In other words, if an order was $1,000, the factory would get half of that.
They work on that big a percentage?
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah. No, I think, does anybody pay full charge?
That's a good question there too. But the result, his next statement was, we'll split the balance 50-50.
Yeah.
And my immediate reaction was, wait a minute, that's a little bit high on his part, So we discussed some more, and I was going to discuss with my wife, and we talked about it, and that was her first reaction too. He gets 50% of the commission. I said,
wait a minute, it's his business.
And I said, and I just wanted to ask you what is the normal?
If there is no normal, whatever two people can agree to. But I mean, he's entitled to a percentage.
Sure. I don't doubt that.
He's got the contacts. He's got the business.
Well,
he's done all of that, and he's saying he wants half of the amount earned, and you're complaining.
Right.
I don't know what you have to complain about. I think you're getting a lot more than a lot of companies would give you.
Well, see, I sold insurance before, and I got, like 50% of the first year's premium.
That may be, but the insurance company was dealing in futures. There's renewals. There's no renewal in this business.
Right. Well, I thought that was high.
No, if you're not comfortable with it, then don't do it.
Right. My next question is I went down to Thompson's Registry, the books that have all the different companies in them.
Yeah, Thomas Register.
Thomas Registry.
Yeah.
Got thousands of advertising specialty companies. I mean, not thousands, but dozens.
There certainly are many. You're absolutely right. Go to Specialty Salesman Magazine. You'll find a whole ton of advertising.
Really? What kind of response should I get there if I would turn an order into them?
You'd have to have an agreement in advance with them.
Right. Are they going to ask for 50% down or something like that?
Well, I don't know what I can't tell you what any given firm is going to ask for.
I just thought maybe you might have some ideas for the industry itself.
Well, you see, you're giving me a max. There are tons of major markups, but most people who are savvy are not going to pay those kind of prices.
Right, I understand that.
I mean, they're going to have to. You walk in and I want to buy 1,000 pens from you, for example, and you quote me a price of $1 a piece. I'm going to say, "What, are you crazy?"
Yeah.
And I may get it for you for 60 cents. So instead of making $0.50 a pen, you make a dime.
Right, I understand.
Which is the way it is. But there are any number. If you want to look in the Specialty Salesman Magazine, I think you're going to find more than enough companies that will meet your standards.
Okay.
I wish you well, kid.
Thanks, sir.
Alrighty. Hey, tomorrow, mañana, noon to 6, we're going to be here taking your calls off the air and laying them on tape at 800-743-8000. Of course, that's Eastern Time. Hope you're part of it. I'm Bruce Williams. For Talknet. South Carolina, hello there. Welcome to my world.
Well, thank you, Bruce. I surely appreciate it. It's indeed an honor to
Well, thank you, sir. What's on your mind?
I have a rather unique situation, or at least I believe so, in which I feel I was financially damaged from the irresponsible actions of another person. And
just lay it on me.
It's a long story. And
let's start the end and work into this.
Well, the end is I was just vindicated by a grand jury.
Okay, well then.
I was charged with assault and battery with intent to kill. My contention the entire time was that it was self-defense. I had a witness who corroborated my story. The man, he was my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. He comes over looking for me at her home one day. They'd been broken up for several months. Wanted me to come outside and fight with him.
How old are you guys?
Sir?
How old are you guys?
I am 27 and he was about 24.
Oh boy. 24 going on 12.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Anyway, I refused to go out and fight him. I put that stuff aside a long time ago. But since I wouldn't come outside and fight him, and we did call 911, by the way, he began vandalizing my automobile, which actually I sat there and I took him for about 20 minutes.
What was he doing?
He was throwing rocks at it.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Make that 24 going on 6.
You're exactly right. And anyway, we called the police 3 times. It took the police like 75 minutes total to respond.
Oh, boy.
After about 60 minutes, I finally, it got to the point where I couldn't handle it anymore. So I went outside to protect my property and maybe even a little bit of my pride as well. And anyway, when I went outside, he was nowhere to be found. After about 10 minutes, we're sitting out there, we're waiting for the cops to show up so we can make a report about this man vandalizing my car, and he shows up out of the darkness. And anyway, I was armed. I had received prior death threats from this individual, and my mother didn't raise too many idiots, so I take them seriously. And the man approached me, and of course I attempted to hold him at bay with the weapon, and he did momentarily stop. And of course, I warned him what would happen if he did continue to come towards me.
You're going to shoot him.
Yes, exactly. And, we discussed it for, he told me to leave. I told him the cops would be here any minute. They would decide who would leave. Anyway, 3 times I warned him to stay back. 3 times he advanced on me. The 3rd time he said, quote, "You got a gun, maybe I got one too." Shoved his hand in his pocket. And so at that point, I dropped the barrel of the gun from his chest and I shot him in the middle of the thigh and purposely wounded him in the thigh. He immediately jerked his hand out of his pocket, fingers spread. He realized right at that point that he really didn't want to die, I suppose. Anyway, 2 minutes later, the cops come screaming into it was in a mobile home park. And donut crumbs all over their face. And the cops arrest me. I'm charged with assault and battery with intent to kill. My contention, like I said, I was just vindicated. Well, actually 3 months ago, the grand jury refused to indict me on those grounds. There wasn't enough evidence for a trial. And I just found out today, the wheels of justice don't spin too quickly down the South.
I don't think you spin too quickly any place.
Yeah. Well, anyway, my contention is that this man forced me to defend myself through grossly negligent actions of his own, and therefore I incurred $1,500 in legals and approximately $400 in missed time from work. And I would like your opinion on, first of all, can I pursue it? I know you're not an attorney.
Well, that would be clearly that's a question for your lawyer.
Yes, and should I pursue it? Do you think I should just?
Well, you see, those are two entirely. They're almost unrelated.
Right.
Can you pursue it is a legal question. I don't have an answer for that.
Right.
If there's some way you could pursue it to punish him, if for no other reason, to force him into some expenses and embarrassment, would I do it in a heartbeat?
Yeah.
I mean, but it sounds, as I said, we're dealing with a very immature guy.
Yeah.
Clearly, he was probably still in love with your girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, actually, we've broken up since, but it was amicable, and we did it maturely.
Mm-hmm. Is he back with it? Tell me he's not back with her again.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. She realizes him for the psycho that he is.
Uh-huh.
And, no, we've broken up, but we did it semi-amicably, and she, the entire time she told me she would be there for me to testify for me in court if necessary, but luckily that wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
But, a part of me wants to do it for revenge.
Yeah, part of you want to say, put it behind you.
Yeah, well, part of me wants to do it because I did suffer a distinct financial loss. I'm a student. I work 2 part-time jobs, and, it's hard enough to make ends meet as it is.
Sure.
I know this guy's got no serious money to speak of, but he does have a decent job, and I could squeeze it out of him if I really wanted to apply.
Well, you're probably more adult than I in this regard when you observe that. We can go back over your comments. Maybe you'd be better off to just die. I'm probably a little more vindictive than you seem to be.
Right.
But then I have the resources to be vindictive, too.
Yeah, you're right. If I were to pursue it, I would more than likely have to do it in small claims representing myself.
Let it die.
Because I can't afford to pay $1,500 for lawyers every week,
How badly was he injured?
The bullet went straight through and out. They pretty much swabbed him off and sent him home. They wanted to make a deal with me at first that I pay the medicals and the time he missed from work, and they would drop the charges, and I told them no way, no how. And then they wanted me to plead to a lesser charge, and I politely told them that I wasn't going to plead to jaywalking. Mm-hmm. I was either going to go to prison or I would be totally vindicated, and of course the latter happened.
Well, you're a good man.
Yeah.
I think maybe you put it behind you and just be careful about the next girlfriend you pick. I do wish you well, guy.
Appreciate it, Bruce.
Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. Kansas City, Missouri. Hello there. Welcome to my world.
Hi, Bruce.
Hi, baby.
My name is Sharon, and I'm married. I don't have any kids.
I was just discussing children with Dan Rudd. I asked him if he wanted triplets. He almost had a heart attack.
He does a good job.
How about you? Do you want triplets?
No.
No.
No children for me.
Why not, pray tell?
Because I'm a career woman, and that's what I'm calling about.
How distressing. Anybody can be a career woman.
I have just...
How old are you, love?
I'm 29.
Well, let's hope that maybe you have a chance. Anyway, go ahead.
I have just been accepted to work on my PhD at a university that's 2.5 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
I own my house. It's owner financed. I have a balloon payment due.
You keep saying I, but you said you're married.
Okay, we own our house.
Okay.
We have a balloon payment due in April of 96.
All right.
I plan on moving to the new city, and it's going to take me about 3 to 5 years to work on my PhD, and then after I'm finished, I plan to get a job on the West Coast teaching, so I don't plan on coming back to this house.
Well, title the house.
Do you think I should sell it, or should I rent it?
Absolutely sell it.
Absolutely sell it.
Without any question.
Should I buy a new house
How long are you going to stay there?
from 3 to 5 years?
If it's going to be 5 years, I'd say maybe. 3 years, no. What does the old man do?
He's a plumber.
Oh, he can move along. Plumber and a PhD. How's that work?
It works well. He never knew he was going to be married to a doctor, and that's okay. I mean, it works well.
Well, now I asked that question that was a serious question, whether you realize it or not.
No?
Yeah. It was serious to this extent, and there are going to be 50,000 people. Your name is Sharon, you said?
Yeah.
It's going to jump down my throat, which is all right. I've been jumped on. Yeah, I get enough jump-on letters. I enjoy them. I read them all. It's far more difficult, Sharon, for a woman to marry down than a male to marry up.
Well, I didn't marry down.
No, I'm talking about academically, Sharon. You said you want to go. I mean, you want to hear the real world, or you want to talk about the world as it should be?
The real world.
The real world is that socially, in academic circles, you're going to have a tough time. There's nothing wrong with being a plumber. I'm a peddler, okay? But unfortunately, many of us found that when you married a woman who was far better educated than you are, you better get the education.
He's working on it.
Okay, that's another matter. I didn't say, I don't care what he gets it in, shoelace tying, basket weaving, as long as he picks up a credential. Does he have at least an undergrad? He doesn't have an undergraduate degree, does he?
He's working on it.
I'm just telling you the realities, which nobody else will tell you. Certainly not in this business and not in the air.
I understand it.
But the realities are, you're carving out a very tough life for yourselves.
I understand that.
Okay.
The discipline that I'm in is sociology.
Oh, well, then you...
So I understand all that, but
That wasn't meant unkindly, you realize that.
I understand, but I also think that I've got the best of both worlds in that I've got a lot of friends that are white-collar workers that are my friends, and then he's got a lot of blue-collar workers that are his friends.
Honey, I am not in any way, shape, form, or regard. I have a lot of faults, okay? But I'm certainly not a snob. It has nothing to do with that. I'm just telling you the facts are that if you become Dr. So-and-so on the faculty of such a school, you're going to have a very tough row to hoe in many cases if your husband isn't educated, formally educated. Now, that's a fact.
I know.
I think you know that. I think you know what I'm telling you is true.
I know, and he knows, and he's working on it.
Okay, that's all.
So
But as far as owning houses long range, that's a mistake.
Don't do it.
Not in today's world, not in any world, but particularly not in today's world.
And if I live there 3 years, don't buy.
3 years is the minimum period. Absolute minimum.
Yeah.
If you said I'm going to be there 5 years, I could probably make a case. I don't know how strong a case, but I could make a case.
Do you think I'll be throwing money away by renting?
That's not throwing money away unless you plan on living in a park. How do you conclude that's throwing money away?
Well, that's what my husband thinks, but I think it makes it easier because then I won't have another house to sell later.
Exactly right. If you're in an area for short term, that's the operative. Short term, you're better off renting. If you're going to be there for a protracted period of time, then you're better off buying in most cases. Not always even there, but the short term, no. You're better off renting, my view.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, what do you know? We agree on one thing anyway, don't we? And I'm sure your old man's a very nice guy, and I don't want anybody to start saying I'm denigrating plumbing or that sort of thing. No, you can make the same case for, to a lesser extent, that frequently interfaith marriages are troublesome.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Yes.
I was involved in one, so I know. I didn't say impossible, I said troublesome. Racial marriages can be troublesome. because society can be very, very cruel. Now, is that a politically correct thing to say? Did I endorse any of those things? Make it very clear. The answer is no. But I think I would be remiss not to point them out. And I think you know what I'm telling you is true.
It is, I know.
Yeah. I mean, I've been there. So I know. Anyway, I hope things work out real well. You got a 4.0 average and you get that piled higher and deeper.
Yeah.
Okay, kid.
It's a lot, Rick.
I do wish you well. And remember, I didn't endorse any of that stuff. And Danny, I want you to keep a tape on this one because I know I'm going to hear things. Don't shoot me, baby. I'm just the messenger. Alrighty, to Springfield, Missouri. Hello there.
Hello, Bruce.
How we doing?
Oh, just fine. I'm contemplating a career change.
What you up to?
Well, right now I'm in the accounting profession.
In what capacity? Are you certified? You independent? You work for somebody else? What?
Yeah, I work in public accounting. I've passed the exam, but have not got my 2 years experience in yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to me that I've kind of made a wrong choice in careers.
Why so?
Well, I really just don't enjoy sitting behind a desk all day adding up numbers.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Well, you're a young guy. I've made more wrong choices by that. Don't worry about it. So what? So you don't like accounting? What's the big crime?
Oh, nothing. That's what I'm wanting to, I'm looking at a sales career.
Okay, fine.
And I'm just kind of wondering how I'm sending out resumes and some cover letters with them to some ads in the newspapers and things like that.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to sell?
I'm looking maybe into construction sales to contractors.
How did you choose that of all things?
Well, after I graduated from college, it took me about 2.5 years to find a job in accounting.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, I worked in construction just as a laborer.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed working with a lot of the contractors and a lot of the people that are in that field.
All right.
And I related to them a lot better than I do some of the other people, so I thought that would be something I'd be really interested in.
All right.
And my question is, when I'm sending out these cover letters and stuff like that, the kind of word like this stigma attached to the accounting profession, sort of.
Say that? There's a stigma?
Well, sort of as, little guy with a visor sitting in the back room adding up numbers all day. That kind of deal. It's not necessarily true, but
all right.
Some people think about that.
All right, there's perception is reality, isn't it?
Right.
Okay.
So, when I send out my cover letters, I'm trying to think of or write one where I could maybe, get by some of that. Because if you look at the resume, I don't have any sales experience at all.
How good a salesman do you think you could be?
I think I can be a real good salesman.
Well, you willing to work on commission only?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, you'll have no trouble getting a job.
You don't think so?
I know it for a fact. I mean,
Okay.
As long as you're willing to work on commission and straight commission, there's a ton of jobs out there.
Okay.
I mean, there are a ton of jobs out there.
A ton of jobs out there.
Yes, sir.
So how, if I'm in my cover letter, should I?
Forget about cover letters.
Forget it.
Really.
Okay.
If you're willing to go, if you start calling on companies that sell stuff.
Okay.
I mean, you can start with things like radio and television stations for space. Insurance companies will hire you in a heartbeat. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, I really didn't want to get into insurance.
Well, see, the next thing is, do you want to sell tangible or intangible? Personally, I would far prefer to sell intangible.
Meaning, like, services?
Something you can't see, touch, or feel.
Okay.
Because then I can use my words and language to describe those things. If I'm selling you brownie mix is brownie mix is brownie mix, and you can talk all day long about yours is better quality, it's still brownie mix.
Right.
But if I'm talking about, for the sake of discussion, an investment of some kind.
Okay.
Well, you can't see her. Well, you might be able to see her, but maybe that's not the best example. Well, it's okay. About your future and what this can grow to, and I can do this with words, can't I?
Right.
Well, I prefer that.
Okay.
But that's me. It doesn't mean it's right, because there's some people who would never consider selling anything but something tangible.
Right.
I prefer the intangible.
Okay.
But there's plenty of jobs out there.
There's plenty of jobs out there.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
So what's the best way? You just, call and come?
Figure out what kind of products you want to sell, what kind of services you want to sell. and call on those firms.
And just call them.
And you say, I'd like to join your sales department, and I think so. I think I'm good enough. I'll work straight commission. Boy, you'll be getting kissed on the mouth.
Okay.
I got to turn you loose, guy. Good luck. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. KSTP, the talk. Tomorrow, along about noon Eastern Time, I will be right here at this microphone, hoping to hear from you at 800-743-8000. Yeah, noon to 6, we'll be recording for future date. Please join us, 800-743-8000, noon to 6 Eastern Time. Saginaw, Michigan, hello there. Charlie's hometown, hello.
Hi, Bruce.
How we doing, baby?
Good. I have a question. We went to a financial seminar.
You didn't.
Yes.
Did you learn a lot?
Well, we did learn something.
Or did you go to a pitch?
Well, I think
There's a difference between a financial seminar and a pitch. A financial seminar, you go and you go home and that's the end of it. A pitch is where they go and they say, now that you've got a little bit of the menu, maybe an hors d'oeuvre perhaps, or at least a taste of an hors d'oeuvre, for $400 or $500 or $600, we're going to sell you a whole bunch of tapes, or you can come back for the next 3 days, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
right. Exactly.
So you went to a pitch.
Right. At the tune of $900.
Oh, only $900.
Right.
My goodness gracious, a mere bag of shells.
We sat and listened,
Yeah.
and we've never done anything like this before, but we bought it. And after 2 days, we had to sign a contract, and we decided to cancel.
All right, you have a right to do that.
Okay, that's what I'm wondering.
You have a right because the seminar. Wait a minute. Maybe I spoke too soon. Where was the? Now, don't tell me specifically if it was. But was the seminar held in a high school or a motel or a hotel or something of that nature?
Yeah, like a civic center.
All right, then you have 3 days, 3 business days, because it was over $50, and it was away from the seller's place of business.
Okay, that's what I'm.
But you only got 3 days, 3 business days.
Okay, this happened like at the beginning of March. I canceled.
The beginning of March, and how did you cancel within the 3 days?
Yeah, I called on the.
How did you do? My next question: how did you do it?
Okay, I called on the second day. I've listened to you before.
Yeah. Then what did you do?
And then I sat down and I wrote a letter right away, and I air expressed the letter so they had it by before midnight of the third day.
And you have a receipt to prove that?
I have a receipt.
Okay.
And I went to the post office, and they told me if they deny it, they can give me a piece of paper showing that they did
Okay,
for it.
that's fine.
So
You did right.
Okay. We won't. What I'm having a problem with is I have called them several times.
What for?
Because they won't credit my account, my credit card.
Well, you put it in contest, and you explain, and all you do is say to your credit card company that I took advantage of the federal right of rescission, and notified the company appropriately within the 3-day statutory period.
Okay, I have all of this, and that's what I'm in the process of.
Well, that's what your credit card company will know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. The only thing I was concerned about is if this 3-day thing was all true.
Yes, ma'am. It's 3, but you understand, it's only people constantly pick this up and they halfway, and they don't do $50 minimum away from the vendor's place of business. For example, if you walked into a store, you can't change your mind in 3 days.
Okay.
Because that's their place of business. It was designed to protect people against exactly what you're describing. High pressure in the home or in settings like you described. I wish you well, dear.
All right, thank you very much.
I'm Bruce Williams. Hang in. This is Talknet. The home of Don Ho, Honolulu, Hawaii. Hello there.
Hi, Bruce. Thanks for taking my call.
You're very welcome. What's up?
In a local newspaper out here, there's an advertisement for, says cruise ship employment, right? It's kind of an employment agency.
Kind of?
And, well, it is. It's an employment agency.
All right.
At least I believe it is.
Okay.
But when I talked to the person on the phone, he told me that he needed a credit card number.
Yeah, hello.
Now,
Hello. Employment agencies don't need your credit card number.
Well, this one's in Florida.
I don't care if it's in Kalamazoo. They don't need your credit card number.
Okay.
You don't have to pay in advance for an employment agency, not in my opinion.
Yeah, you see, that was my question.
First of all, what do you want to do on a cruise? I only got a minute. What do you want to do on a cruise ship?
Well, I used to be in the Navy, and
What do you want to do on a cruise ship? Quick.
work.
What kind of work?
Person.
Not a, well, there's a possibility. I'd say maybe a 1 in 1,000. There are a few American pursers. I've met a couple. Just a couple. Most personnel on the ships are not American. The exception is entertainers. You will find American entertainers. On a cruise or two before, 2 or 3 cruises ago, because I go on several a year. I remember that one of my sons met a young lady who was a American and was a purser, and I do remember 10 years ago or so meeting an American who was a purser, but they are few and far between. You can apply directly to the cruise lines. You don't have to work through any pseudo agency for that. But the chances for an American citizen are relatively remote, unfortunately. I do wish you well, my friend. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow, yep, we'll be here noon through 6, taking your calls off the air. I do hope you'll join me. I'm Bruce Williams. Thanks for the hour. This is Talknet. The talk station. I am chatting with you in Alexandria, Virginia. She saw an ad in the paper that showed a house that she kind of liked the style of, and you can write in for $7 and get the plans, right?
Right.
All right, that's okay. But then you said, could I give that to a builder?
Right.
You could, yeah, but you'd be a fool.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Or you should talk to an architect.
Okay.
Let the architect, sure, some builders would build from those plans. But not for me, they wouldn't. How much are you planning on spending?
Well, we'd like to stay within $125,000.
Well, that's not, I forget what I said, because after all, $125,000, you spend that every day. It's chicken feed, right?
Well, of course not.
Of course not. And so you want to protect yourself, do you not?
Right.
Well, then you got to protect yourself by using a professional.
Okay.
And I mean, can a house be built from some of these plans? Yeah. Of course, I don't know. You saw this in a local paper or an Arizona paper?
No, it was local.
Well, I don't know if the zoning and the building codes there would even permit such a thing.
Well, that's what I don't.
Well, of course you don't know. You can't be expected to know. But that's why you hire a local architect, one in Tucson or Phoenix or wherever you're going.
So when I go to my local architect and I show him this,
You go to 2 or 3.
we go to two or three architects.
Yeah, you want a proposal from them.
Oh, okay.
This is what I'm looking at. And what can you show me? That you have a piece of property, you said, right?
Right. We already have the property.
Well, but the problem is that this house may not fit appropriately in that property.
Well, that's what we need to know.
Well, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So then would I take, after I get a proposal that is acceptable to us, I take the plans from the architect?
No, the architect takes them to the builder.
Oh.
And you're going to pay the architect probably $6,000 or $7,000 for this.
Okay. Well, that's something I had no idea.
And he would supervise. I mean, did you ever build a house before?
No, sir.
Well, what do you know about it? Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, who's going to supervise it?
Well, that's just it. I don't.
That's what an architect does for you, one of the things. He will supervise the contractor to see that things get done properly.
Okay.
It's just another case of, it's sure it's an expense, but it's just using a professional to do a professional job. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet.
AM 1500, KSTP.
Hey, tomorrow afternoon, something on the order of 4 o'clock Eastern Time, we'll be here taking your calls off the air, lay them down on tape for broadcast at a future date, and I do hope you'll join me. Should be convenient for many of you, where it's inconvenient at this time of day. 800-743-8000 is the key, 800-743-8000. Alrighty, Decatur, Illinois, hello. Alabama, I'm sorry. I thought I made the mistake. I have Alabama, but I figure there's no Decatur, Alabama.
Oh, yes.
I think you're confused. You're really in Illinois.
Right outside of Huntsville.
What's on your mind, guy?
I've got a little bit of a problem with local emergency room. And I was wanting you to tell me if I should fight paying them or if I should just go ahead and pay.
I got a feeling you got a big bill.
No, actually it's not a very big bill.
No? That's unusual.
It's the surrounding it I don't think I should have to pay.
Well, tell me about it.
I have a sinus condition, chronic sinusitis, and I have a lot of sinus problems. And I woke up one morning a few days before Christmas with excruciating pain, and I mean it was pain. I've had a spinal tap before, and
this is big time.
Yeah, this was worse than a spinal tap.
Well, I'll tell you, infected sinuses can be very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, people that's never had them don't realize. But I went to, I was delirious. I should have really called an ambulance or something, but I drove myself to the emergency room at the one of the major hospitals here, and told them what was wrong, and they gave me an injection. They said that would help the pain.
All right, a physician gave you the injection.
Mm-hmm. And I went home, and my pain got worse. And I called the hospital and told them that and asked them what they gave me, and they gave me something called Toradol that was about equivalent of injectable aspirin along the lines. And I know they've got a lot of narcotics there that can take care of pain.
Well, there's a good many things, assuming you have a tolerance for them, and those narcotics will control the particular pain. For example, Demerol is a very widely used painkiller, right?
Right.
But Demerol does not, as I understand it, does not dull the pain for bone surgery. So you can shoot somebody full of Demerol, and if they've had bone surgery, it's not going to do much good. You got to go to morphine.
Yeah. Well, this is a non-narcotic.
The stuff that they gave you, clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you called them back and said, "Hey, I'm still hurting."
Yeah, I said, "I'm still hurting." They said, "Well, we're sorry. That's all we can do for you."
Is that right?
Yeah. So I thought my former doctor, they just stopped the practice worked in one of those small emergency rooms. Those
right, doc in the boxes.
Yeah, one of those.
Right.
He worked at one of those. I went to the one where he works, and he was off duty. He wasn't on duty. So I told them what happened. I told them that I went to the other place, and they gave me the Toradol, and that I was even feeling worse after taking the Toradol.
Well, it may or not have. You might have been feeling worse because the condition was getting worse.
Yeah. So they said, okay, the doctor will see. So he comes in, gives me an injection, so we're going to keep you here for a little while to make sure you don't have any bad side effects.
What did they give you?
Toradol.
The same thing?
The same thing. So they didn't tell me that till right before I was leaving. They didn't tell me. I had to ask them. I said, by the way, what did you give me? I said, it hasn't helped yet. What did you give me? And they said that, and I said, that's what I just told you did not help me. And they said, well, we don't give anything stronger than that for pain. And I taught one of my good friends, the nurse, at an emergency room on the other side of town, and he told me that a lot of times people work in the emergency room, they get tired of, they get people coming in, junkies, wanting complain about pain, faking it, and so forth. And he said he even thinks some of the doctors enjoy not giving stuff for pain.
Well, that's subjective. We don't know that.
Mm-hmm. But that really made me angry that if I don't want to give anything strong for pain, that's one thing. But when I go in and tell them that the reason I'm here is because this, and they should have just told me, well, we can't help you either.
Indeed.
Instead of giving me this stuff and going to send me on my way without telling me what it was. Mm-hmm. He seemed kind of reluctant to tell me what it was when I asked him too. Mm-hmm. And now they're charging me for it, and I really don't think I should have to pay.
I wouldn't pay them either. If you told them specifically that you'd been medicated with a particular item and it didn't help.
I did. I wrote it down so I would remember because I was in a lot of pain.
And they proceeded to give you the same stuff.
Right, same stuff.
And then tell you, well, the reason we did that, we don't give anything stronger. If they didn't give anything stronger, they could have told you that.
Yes.
And I think you'd have had to pay for a visit. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they deliberately gave you the stuff that hadn't helped you, and weren't going to tell you unless you asked, and you had the presence of mind to ask, I wouldn't pay them. I'd let them explain that to a judge.
Okay, yes, I called and talked to him, and he was kind of hinting that, well, I'll send it before the board, and I said, well, you sent me this notice saying that, the first thing they send me after the original bill was, we're going to sue you and charge you legal fees if you don't.
Well, had you contacted them after the first letter?
No.
Well, that's your mistake. These things don't go away. They had no reason to believe you just weren't trying to beat them. Mm-hmm. You should have contacted them.
Yes. She kind of hinted that I should go ahead and pay, and then, if the review board decided that I shouldn't have to pay, they would give the money back. And I was going to ask you if...
not me.
Okay.
But you see, you should notify them in writing. Mm-hmm. And I'd send it certified mail. But the reason that you're not paying this is for the following: that you told them that you did not wish to be treated with whatever that stuff is because you just had some, and it hadn't relieved the pain. Ultimately, how did they treat the sinus, by the way?
I went, when my doctor came in that afternoon, my ear, nose, and throat specialist, he treated it with some different things, got rid of it.
And what did he say when you told him the story?
He kind of thought it was ridiculous.
Well, no, kind of, but what did he say?
He said that they should have gave me something stronger for the pain.
All right, now what have you done to see that this happens again, things are going to work out?
I've been treated with different medicines that he's given me. I haven't had the bad headaches again.
That wasn't my question. It seems to me I would talk to him. Does he have privileges at a hospital someplace?
His office isn't. I don't think he works out of a hospital, no.
He doesn't have any hospital privileges at all?
Oh, I'm not sure.
That would be very unusual. I've never seen a physician, unless they've been kicked out. I know one guy got kicked out of every hospital.
No, I don't think that's the case.
Most physicians have what are called privileges in case, for example, if somebody calls up with a real serious problem, maybe in the emergency room, they get them hospitalized right away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would have him leave instructions with that hospital that in the event that you come in with the same symptoms, that the following procedures are to be have it on record at the hospital and a copy in your pocket.
Okay.
I'm sure he'd be amenable to that.
All right.
I wish you well, my friend.
Thanks a lot, Bruce.
I'm Bruce Williams. Stick around. This is Talknet. Reno, Nevada. Hello there.
Hi, Bruce. How you doing?
Good. How are things in Snow City?
Actually, it's almost gone here in town. It's nice and warm.
How are the passes?
Not bad. I went over a couple days ago and pretty clear.
I was out there I was out there this morning, as a matter of fact.
Pardon?
I was out that way this morning, and they said there was a problem on 80 West. Interesting. Go ahead. What's on your mind, my friend?
Wanted to see if you know anything about laundromats as a business.
Well, first of all, let's call them coin-operated laundries because that term it applies to one specific organization.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
Okay, what would you like to know about coin-operated laundries?
Are they a good business proposition? Are they hard to run? Are they profitable?
What do you think about steak? Is it good to eat?
Yeah.
Sometimes. If you burn it, it isn't worth much, is it?
Pardon?
If you burn it, it's not worth much, is it?
Right.
Well, the point is that there are good coin-operated and bad coin-operated. Good neighborhoods for it and bad.
Right.
Good machinery and bad. Good operators and bad.
Okay.
For example, one of the things that most patrons, and I have to believe that the significant number of the patrons of coin-operated laundries are female, there are two things they're looking at. They're looking at, aside from price and that sort of thing, safety and cleanliness.
Right.
And to accomplish both of those, it means having somebody around in most cases, as contrasted with just an empty place where people come in and do their thing. Now, I'm sure there are neighborhoods where the safety wouldn't be a real factor. I don't know any place in the world that the places are self-cleaning. Somebody's got to be around.
Right.
Secondly, are you planning on doing this full-time or part-time?
It would be part-time for me, but I understand I would have to have.
Okay, well, the next question is, who's going to do the mechanical work?
That would probably be hired out.
No, you can't do that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mean that it can't be done. Don't misunderstand me. But it's just not cost efficient.
Right.
If you got to call somebody in at $40 a service call every time something hiccups, you're going to go broke. I've never met a guy that runs these things. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. I've never met a guy that didn't do his own mechanical work. That doesn't mean if it's a complete rebuild, you're not going to use a pro.
Right.
But the minor stuff where a socket's caught in a pipe or whatever, you simply can't afford to have it done outside.
Right. The minor stuff I would.
Well, but the next question is, what do you know about fixing washers and dryers?
Well, that's something I would definitely have to learn.
Exactly so. You're going to have to invest not only money, but some time in learning how to do these repairs and have yourself available. Next question is, what kind of before we get that far, is there any problem in the area you've selected with regard to water?
No, it's an existing.
An existing operation?
Yeah.
How old? How old is the machinery is what I'm trying to get to?
It varies. Some of it's fairly new, some of it's fairly old. The
much competition is there?
None. Just the existing, like what's in the apartment complexes.
But you see, the problem there is that if somebody opens up down the street with an all brand new store, your customers will go right down there.
Right. I think in this area here, because of the water situation, it's almost cost prohibitive to put in a new one.
Why is that?
Well, according to the broker, it's so expensive per machine. It just does not make sense anymore to put it in.
What do you mean per machine? Is there some kind of, excuse me, a special permit?
Yeah, it's a lot of money per washing machine.
I beg your pardon?
It's a lot of money per washing machine for the sewer hookups and
that was why I asked the question.
Right, and also water hookups. So chances of someone else coming in the neighborhood would probably be pretty slim.
Okay, well, how long has this place been there?
Boy, that I don't know. I would say probably 20 years.
All right, well, what's it kicking off a year?
Right now, they say net, and that hasn't been verified, right at 50,000.
It does a pretty fair business then.
Yeah, it's a big store.
How much time does the owner devote to it?
He claims only like 5 hours a week.
Why does he want to sell it?
Moving out of the country.
Oh, that's a good reason. What's he asking for it?
$245.
Ooh. Sounds high to me. How many machines?
This is just off the top of my head. It's right around 70 washers and
70?
Yeah.
That is a big operation.
And 30 something dryers.
100 pieces of equipment.
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot. Is there real estate here too?
No, it's in a shopping center.
It sounds high to me.
Pardon?
It sounds high to me.
Okay.
50 times, or you talk about 5 times net.
Right.
That sounds pretty high to me. Particularly when you say some of the equipment is kind of on the old elderly side.
Yeah.
How much paper is he prepared to carry?
We haven't gotten that far yet.
Well, that's an important variable.
Right.
If he's willing to take 50,000 down and the balance on paper, yeah, the price goes up. If you're going to walk in with cash, the price goes down.
Right.
And obviously you're going to have his records checked and all that sort of thing.
Right.
Tax returns. Well, it sounds to me like you've done your homework and you have the insulation that most people don't enjoy, the idea of somebody opening new next door.
Right.
Because that's a real problem in that business. Apparently people just go with the new ones, for whatever reason.
Probably cleanliness, like you said before.
Oh, I think it's novelty too. Well, I don't know. I don't go to coin-operated laundries, so it's not, years ago, but not now.
Right.
I do wish you well, my friend.
Okay, Bruce, thanks.
If you get more statistics, I'd be delighted to listen to you.
Okay.
I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet.
Talknet 1-800-743-8000.
KSTP, the talk station. East Lansing, Michigan. Hello there.
Hello, Bruce. How are you tonight?
I am just fine, thank you. A little tired from flying, but other than that, I'm fine.
Oh, going good. My name is Jeff. It's
Take care of that watch thing. Go ahead.
Okay. It's tax assessment time in our state. They just lifted the 2-year ban on raising property tax, and so I had a question as far as I've owned my house 2 years, and I had termites last year. I had the house treated, and I'm trying to figure out if I appeal it.
On what basis?
Pardon?
On what basis are you going to make an appeal?
Okay, well, they say if the house has had damage to it, that it could affect the resale value.
I don't see how. Did you have extensive damage?
No, it was under $1,000.
I don't think it makes sense. And you had it repaired, right?
Right.
I think that's non-issue.
Non-issue?
As I see it, it's a non-issue. If I were sitting on that board, it'd be a non-issue.
Okay, because I hear two different stories, one from real estate people and then one from the certified assessors within the state that do it.
And what stories have you heard?
The real estate people are telling me what you're saying is that it won't affect the resale value of the home. But on the other hand, the assessors say that it might there might be a stigma that people would not want to purchase.
But the term is might.
Right.
Not is.
Okay.
And a might is not going to get you a reduction in assessment, in my opinion.
Okay.
Well, as I said, I was involved in that kind of stuff a million years ago. From the governmental side. And I wouldn't even listen to that story.
Oh, really?
No, what for? You had little damage, minor league stuff. You repaired it. Get on with your life.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if somebody's going to say that every house that at some time in its past has had some minor termite damage is seriously diminished, let me tell you something. There's a ton of houses not going to be around on the market.
Oh, okay.
This is not an uncommon disease. One of my homes had not extensive. It had termite damage. I don't think it diminished the price. I don't consider it diminished the price at all.
Okay.
We've also had carpenter ants too. Had them all. Once you repair the damage, it's over.
Okay.
Now, if you had $50,000-$60,000 worth of structural damage, yeah, that we're talking about something else altogether. I mean, let's draw an analogy between you scrape up a fender. I don't think you can worry about too much about the resale of the car, but you give it a $7,000 or $8,000 wrap where the frame has been bent and so forth. Yes, that could affect it, couldn't it?
Yeah, it sure could.
I think the same thing applies here. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your help.
Go get him, kid.
Okay, thanks.
We have a return call from Savannah, Georgia. Hello there.
Hey, Bruce.
Hi. We had a couple calls about you.
Well, I've got some good news. Let me tell you what happened.
Okay, well, we're going to bring those people who weren't with us up to speed. Fair enough?
Okay.
You were driving down a road, and you did throw, was it a gum wrapper or something?
It was a small piece of a plastic shopping bag that hit me in the lens of my glasses and temporarily blinded me.
Okay, so you got out of your car.
Right.
And the police pulled you over, very polite, smiled, gave you a littering ticket, and you called up and said, well, how much is it? Expected to hear $5 or $10. And they said, as I remember, $137?
That's correct, Bruce.
So we both agreed it might be a good idea to go to court on this one. By the way, we had a number of Georgians call and say, yep, we got strict laws here. The signs are all along the road. He got what he deserved. What do you think of that?
I got good news for you.
Talk to me.
What happened? First of all, this was, I think, the key to the whole thing. We had a lot of people in our church praying for this situation. So when I went to court, I just said, Lord, help me. Like Bill Clinton said, so help me, God.
No, that wasn't what Bill Clinton said. Yeah, well, not so help me, God. It's so help me, God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there, for 2 hours, and I was watching the judge. He was being fair to everybody. He was dealing out justice with mercy as much as he could.
Mm-hmm.
Good judge. And I got up there and I said, I want to explain what happened, Your Honor. And I did. And I said, if it please the court, I'd like to ask for leniency. And the judge said, officer, what do you have to say to this? The officer said that everything I said was correct, because I admitted that I'd done wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And and then he said, Mr. So-and-so, I won't give him a name, Mr. So-and-so was very courteous and kind, and I was having a very bad day, and even after getting this big ticket, he said, have a nice day. And then the judge said, well, sir, I'm going to give you, reduce your fine to $45, and since you obviously didn't mean to break any laws, I'm going to suspend the sentence.
Wasn't that nice?
I'd like to say to Judge Dillon, if he's listening, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it, and God bless you.
Judge Dunn, you made a friend, and I think you did well on this one.
Relay this message to him.
All righty.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my friend. Good luck, and I'm glad you made out well with it. I mean, I have certainly thrown things out of the window of my car, no question. My kids have apoplexy, but I don't do it anymore. I'm ecology-oriented, and I don't think we ought to be littering the roads, but it seems to me $135 for a first offense for a small item seems a tad heavy. So it appears to me that in Georgia, at least in this instance, you have one judge that used very good judgment, in my opinion. Congratulations, Judge. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hello there.
Hello, how are you?
I am well, thank you. What's on your mind, dear?
I have a question. I have been working as a bookkeeper for a real small management consulting firm for about a year and a half.
All right.
I've been offered another job, and I've taken another job, and it's a great career. The new job is a great career move. But it's only going to be about 32 to 36-hour work week. And I'm a fairly young person, and I need the extra money to pay off some bills, and my boss wants me to continue to do his books for...
You mean your
my original boss.
Original boss, okay.
Okay, he wants me to continue to do the books for him on a part-time basis.
All right.
I'm going to work out of my home.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how do I value myself. I know what it costs him to employ me on a full-time basis.
Well, how much?
It cost him $24,000 with...
Well, what's that work out to an hour? Have you done it?
I can do it, too.
Well, I can figure it out myself. I mean, I thought you might know.
No,
It'd be about $12 an hour.
My hourly wage is like $9 an hour plus all the benefits. And
well, how did you get to $24,000 on $9 an hour?
Well, when you add in the matching Social Security and the medical, dental...
Oh, you're adding benefits. That's including benefits.
Including all the benefits.
Okay.
But now I'm going to be just a contract employee or...
All right, but you're getting your benefits elsewhere.
Right.
Okay. How many hours a week does he want you to do this?
I figured it'll take me between 20 and 25 hours a week.
That much?
That's including the travel time back and forth. Because I have to come to the office at least one day a week to file and pick up mail and that sort of thing.
I would think you're talking somewhere around $15,000 a year.
Okay.
What kind of number do you come up
with?
with?
I was thinking between 12 and 15, but I didn't think I thought maybe that was unreasonable.
I don't think that's unreasonable because he's going to save on and you are a legitimate contractual employee. You're doing it in your own place, at your own speed, at whatever hours you choose to do it, and so on and so forth. I think you meet the criteria.
And then
but you realize, of course, you're going to have to pay your own Social Security, both sides.
Yeah, the full 15%.
Yeah, 15 and a fraction percent, right.
Right, plus income taxes and...
Well, income tax you pay anyway. I'm talking about the extra taxes. You may or may not have to contribute to your unemployment fund in your state. You may or may not have to contribute to federal unemployment. I don't know the answer to that.
No, I don't.
But there are some...
Into those.
Okay, but there are some extras here, clearly.
Okay.
But the other side of that, you got a good career move. You're making pretty decent money in the other place, I assume. And you got the extra time, and you keep a good relationship with your former boss. It seems to me you got the best of all worlds, baby. Not too shabby. Good luck with it. Hey, tomorrow, 4 in the afternoon Eastern Time, Dan and I will be here in the studio taking your calls off the air for broadcast at a future date. 800-743-8000 is the key. See you then. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. Jackson, Tennessee. Hello there.
Hi, Bruce.
Hello, baby. How are you?
I have spoken to you a couple times before.
You haven't. You rascal, you.
In person.
In person?
Yes, sir.
Where did we meet him? You're not an old assignation or no?
No, in Syracuse.
In WSYR country. Sure, we were doing shows up there.
Yes, sir, you were. And then I spoke to you another time on the phone about a blackberry pie.
About a blackberry pie?
A blackberry pie.
I don't recall that. That's surprising.
But you wanted it anyways.
I never met a blackberry pie I didn't like.
Well, it's good.
What's on your mind, dear?
We we remodeled. They had to start out a garage. We put it into a den. We put some carpet down, and then we had a air-conditioned heating unit like they put in motels. It's inside and outside.
An independent unit just for that room?
Yes, sir. And you turn the air conditioner on during the summer, and the heating unit be working on the outside, and then vice versa during the winter. We used the air conditioning unit, and it worked fine. We went to turn the heat on, and it was working fine for a short time. And then all of a sudden, I walked in, I found a wet floor. And it's a concrete floor underneath this carpeting that I have. I've got a carpet with a good backing, pad underneath it. Needless to say, I shut it off. I called the company that installed it, and they was nice about it. They came out, and they told me to shut it off until they could get the repairman there. Well, he came.
What was causing the problem?
It's the heating element. What it's done is, see, it's put into the wall, into a sleeve.
Yeah.
The sleeve, they drilled into the studs of the wall, inside the wall. Well, when the water what it was doing, it was the heating element was producing water.
You mean producing condensation of some kind?
It was supposed to go on the coils and go out like a refrigerator.
Yes.
Well, if this wasn't doing it, it was gathering in the bottom.
It wasn't draining properly. An air conditioner is the same thing.
Right. Well, it was going down in the wall onto the floor. Well,
what was the bottom line of all this nonsense?
Needless to say, I've had them out here twice. They still haven't got the unit fixed. And they said that I called, had the representative from the manufacturer come, and he said, well, we'll got to work this out. We've got to rob Peter to pay Paul, hopefully, to fix it. Well, they haven't fixed it, because I went to look at it the other day. I had water on top of my rug. And I've got thousands of dollars, over $1,000 worth of carpeting on that floor. Well,
in the playroom?
In the den, yes, sir. And I said to the fellow, I said, well, who's going to be responsible to take care of this rug? I said, because it's a brand new rug, and I said, I can't afford to have this mildew underneath this pad, because what's going to do is...
Well, it's the whole thing, dear, no matter who pays for it, it's got to come out.
Correct.
It's never going to dry out never's a long time, but it'll rot before it dries.
Correct. It will form a mildew.
Well, why don't you seriously, it should be out now. It should have been gone.
Well, what I'm trying to see, they can't do anything, and they're still not fixing with it.
Without regard to that, the rug should come up today.
Okay. All right.
And be put somewhere where it can air out and dry out, otherwise you're going to lose it. Not to mention the fact that it's going to stink.
It's already ruined. I can't even get the stain. We see it went in further into the room, and it stained the rug. The rug is shot.
You're sure? And how old is this rug?
Less than 6 months.
Have you had a professional tell you it's shot?
Yes. I had him here yesterday, and he said that there was no way that we could get the stains.
All right.
And it's what it's doing is when it gets wet, it pulls.
Okay, forget about it. You're telling me the pros say it's no good. Let's accept that.
I have accepted that. But what I'm trying to get at is my insurance responsible to pay for the rug, or should I have the...
No, hold it.
Okay.
You ask one question at a time.
Right.
Your insurance company has no responsibility. They are responsible for sudden bursting of water pipes and whatever.
Correct.
This was hardly sudden.
Right.
This is a malfunction in the equipment. Now, I don't know if the malfunction was a result of poor installation or poor design. I'm betting poor installation.
It's design. They said they admitted it was design.
Who admitted?
The representative from the company said
that manufactured it?
Correct.
Well, in that case, I look to them for reimbursement.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I was telling my husband, but I wanted to make sure. Check with you, because you're the ones with the knowledge.
Well, how about that? But that's the one I'd go after.
Okay.
I do wish you well, dear.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, sweetie. I'm Bruce Williams. Hang in, my friends. This is Talknet. The talk station. Boca Raton, Florida. Hello there.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Bruce. I feel like I'm talking to an old friend.
Well, that's a very major compliment. You know, I appreciate that, because I like to think that a lot of us are old friends.
Well, I'm an ex-truck driver with over 1 million miles under my belt, and you've been there about probably 250,000 of it.
Well, I'm very happy to keep you company.
And
thanks very much.
One more thing, I wanted to plug, you're always plugging seatbelts, and
yes, sir.
Thanks to you, I had seatbelts for about 3/4 of those miles, and because of seatbelts, I was probably lucky to be alive through an accident.
That's what it's, well, I'm not sure it's a matter of luck. It was a matter of you were prudent.
Well, thanks to you, I wore them anyway.
Super. I'm glad we had that influence.
Okay.
What's on your mind, guy?
Okay, I recently purchased a computer for my wife and stepdaughter as a gift.
All right.
And I was walking through a major office supply place, and I noticed all of these desktop publishing programs. And I am a creative writer, and I take creative writing courses, and I had this really screwy idea, that I thought was screwy, maybe starting a small literary quarterly.
Well, not screwy. There's no question that Desk Top Publishing has opened doors that just didn't exist up until now.
Right.
Because you can wrap the stuff out at very modest prices once you own the equipment. It's quite surprising to a non-computer person such as myself that the type of things you can do with those laser printers there. If you're going to buy one, don't buy the dot matrix, buy the laser printer.
Right, yeah. I talked to my creative writing teacher, and he said that was the way to go. He says you can actually come out with camera-ready pages.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And anyways,
now if we can do the mechanics, what is it we're going to sell? What is it we're going to say, and who are we going to sell it to?
Okay, the problem is not getting material, because there's plenty of frustrated writers that would just be glad to get it into print with very little money involved. No money, just contributor copy.
But who's going to buy it?
Excuse me?
Who is going to buy the finished product?
Well, I talked to my creative writing teacher, and he seemed to think that there would be a fairly good market, good enough to where he volunteered to become editor of it.
Well, did he volunteer to edit some money your way, like the first cut in a check?
Well, we're still negotiating on that, but my one and only problem is distribution, and I wanted your thoughts and advice on that part of it.
Well, who is going to be? You say distribution. I mean, we're into a tough word here.
Yes.
Well, I want to know is back to the question that I posed a moment ago. Who's going to buy this?
Well, people that like to read short stories, short fiction, poetry, that kind of thing.
I doubt it.
No?
There's so much available today that one can purchase. I mean, magazines and newsletters in the main. Now, there are exceptions to every rule. I think you and I can agree to that, all right?
Right.
But newsletters in the main are purchased by people with a specific need for certain knowledge. There are also newsletters that are published for collectors and for people who have something in common and whatever. But the vast majority, I think it's a fair statement, are being purchased by those folks who want the knowledge that you can throw at them.
Well, this wouldn't actually be a newsletter. It would be a...
Well, that's what it comes down to, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean, it may have a different name, you may be calling it something else, but when it's all done and said, it sounds to me like you're describing a newsletter. And before you do anything like that, you got to figure out who your ducks are. And the ducks are not as easy to find as a lot of folks seem to think. I mean, the clear answer, if I said, would you buy it, you'd say, yeah. Or would you? You'd say it because that's what you want to say.
Yeah.
But the real question is, would you really buy it if it was offered in the marketplace?
Well, I buy literary magazines myself.
But magazines are a different matter. You measure the amount of material you find in a magazine against the amount of material you're going to be able to provide. Magazines have tons of material, don't they?
Well, I'm thinking this is probably going to be a magazine size.
I want you to hang on just for a second. Bruce, we're talking. I am talking with a gentleman in Boca Raton, Florida, who wants to put out a literary newspaper, magazine, or whatever. And I'm suggesting to him that is a very tough row to hoe.
Yes.
You'd be a whole lot... we're talking now just a commercial project, right?
Yeah.
Be a whole lot better off selling girly magazines. Well, because there's a lot more of them sold.
That's true. But
it just seems to me that you mentioned something. I got to let you go, but you mentioned something which kind of caught my attention. You said there are a lot of people that would just, kill their siblings to get themselves in print.
right.
Now, maybe if you charge these people a modest amount of money to get into print, so they get a credit of some kind, maybe you could cover your expenses. I cannot imagine people paying a whole lot of money to buy that stuff.
Right.
And I can't imagine, unless you get your circulation up to a rather substantial point, the competition for advertising dollars is like an ounce of meat in a tank full of piranhas.
Right.
Very, very tough.
Okay. Well, I'll
just your timing maybe isn't the best.
Right.
For advertising, there's just a huge competition for the number of dollars that are out there.
What about distribution? What would be the way?
Well, you gotta, again, how do you reach the people like yourself? Distribution means, I think we're using an improper term. Distribution is sending out the mail. That's the way you distribute it.
Oh, like mail circulation.
Oh, you're not gonna get it. If you think you're good at the newsstand, forget about it.
Right.
Okay. Forget that for the time being. But the question is, how do you get people on a mailing list? I don't know the end. You can buy a mailing list, send freebies out.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I wouldn't want one of, for a hobby, okay, you want to start with 100 people or something, that's one thing, but I wouldn't want to give up my day job for something like this.
I hadn't planned on.
Not in today's world.
It was just more or less for the love of it. I think that's the way.
Well, are you willing to subsidize it? That's another matter.
Yeah.
I do wish you well, my friend. Think it out very thoroughly, though.
Okay, it was a pleasure talking.
The pleasure was mine.
Bye-bye.
Take good care, guy. Joaquina, California, hello.
Yes. Hi, Bruce.
Hello there.
How are you?
Everything's super. What's on your mind, dear?
Well, 2 years ago, my husband and I had a baby. We had insurance through his company at the time.
All right.
But about 4 months after the baby was born, I began to wonder if the insurance was going to pay.
Why?
Because they hadn't. They kept putting us off.
Can we back up a little bit?
Sure.
How long was your husband with the company prior to your pregnancy?
4 or 5 years.
Oh, and he had family plan.
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't see any question about that one.
Yeah, we should have been insured.
All right.
We had already had a child with the same company.
Okay, fine. And they paid everything on that one?
Well, it was a different, he worked for the same company, but they were under a different
insurance plan, all right.
Anyway, when I started looking into this, I found that the carrier of the insurance was in receivership.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And I've contacted the California insurance commissioners, and they checked into it for me and said that the carrier was out of Utah, so they had no jurisdiction.
Well, that's not true, but apparently the carrier was not licensed in California.
Right. They weren't licensed in California.
Oh, well, that's a very important omission that you didn't.
Well,
Why did your company or your husband's company buy it from a non-admitted company?
I don't know that they even checked into it or realized it's a small company.
It has nothing to do with anything.
The insurance, they were working with people here locally out of, I don't know what you know about the Central Valley, but out of Fresno.
Well, I know, of course I know Fresno. KMJ country. Right?
I'm sorry?
KMJ, Fresno.
Right.
Of course I know Fresno. The point being that if they bought it through a California broker or agent, that broker or agent, unless it was represented as a non-admitted company, may be vulnerable, and you may have to work to them.
We have tried that, and I always get the same, it's not our problem.
Who says that?
The company actually, we are still with the same company. We just have a different carrier.
No, you're not listening to me.
Fine.
You're not listening at all to me.
Try again.
I said the company, your boss, or her husband's boss, purchased the insurance through a broker or agent. If that broker or agent is in California, you may have a shot at them on their errors and omissions.
I see.
You see what I'm saying? I don't think you do.
No, I don't.
Well, then say so. No disgrace to I'm not communicating properly. Your husband works for the Jones Company.
Right.
Jones Company went out and bought insurance from Smith Agency.
Okay.
If Smith Agency is in California,
right,
you may very well have an action against them for selling a non-admitted company in California.
But I thought that I wasn't sure if you were talking about going after the company my husband was working for.
No.
The company that they bought the insurance from.
When they bought the insurance, the agency, not the company they bought the insurance from. The agency that wrote the policy for the company.
Okay.
Do you understand the difference?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I see what you're saying.
That's probably your best shot.
I am curious as to why the insurance commissioner's office didn't put me on this trail, though.
I don't know the answer to that. All they told you is a non-admitted company, but you didn't ask the right question, maybe. Did you tell them it was purchased in California?
Yes, I gave them all that information.
Well, do you know if it was purchased? You don't know that.
I don't know what?
You don't know if it was purchased in California. I don't think you do, anyway.
Maybe I know that the people that was purchased from are located here locally, and then you're right, I don't.
You see what I'm saying? You're going to have to go back and do a little homework here. Okay. You go back to your husband's employer.
Okay.
You say, where did you buy the insurance? I'd like to see the master policy.
Okay.
If it was issued by a California licensed broker or agent, and they did not tell your husband's employer that this was a non-admitted company, which they may have done,
okay,
then you may have an action against them. And I don't know what California law allows with regard to non-admitted companies. And then the next question is, did your husband contribute any money toward the plan, or was it strictly a benefit?
$2,000.
He contributed?
Yes.
And he contributed that through his employer?
Yeah.
Then the employer may be vulnerable, too.
That was held $40 a week.
Well, the employer may be vulnerable, too, for allowing your money to be given to a company that was non-admitted, because there's a high degree of protection you sacrificed.
Yeah, well, if we had that $2,000 we just paid in, it would have gone a long way.
Well, without regard, that's not the issue.
I know, but I'm saying...
but that's not the issue. The issue is, I don't know if your employer is vulnerable, but then, of course, your husband could lose his job.
We're not really interested in going...
Okay, well, I'm just pointing out the alternatives, that's all.
Yeah.
I do wish you well, dear.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Okay, honey, but follow up on the one issue that I raised. I'm Bruce Williams for Talknet. Syracuse, New York, it's your turn on Talknet. Welcome to my world.
Hello. I got caught in one of these franchise things, which you say, how would I ever be dumb enough to do that?
What kind of a franchise thing? Gumball machines or what?
Not that bad. But it's just the same thing as gumball machines. This outfit probably got in the order of, apparently got in the order of a couple $1 million. And what they were doing was they were a major corporate entity, or they claimed to be a chain of corporations, among them which they had an agreement with the AT&T, and they bought regular commercial quality payphones from AT&T, and they had testimonials.
That's what they said they did.
Yeah, well,
we don't know if they did or they didn't.
Yeah, we don't know, but they claimed to, and they.
Well, but there's a big difference. You're throwing AT&T's name around, and maybe they didn't have anything to do with us. You just didn't use names.
Well, one of my questions is that a problem? In other words, is that a criminal for them to use that name if it isn't true?
Very well. They certainly could be. An action could be brought against them by, in this case, AT&T.
But not by me.
Well, not necessarily. No, I'm not so sure that's true either, because since you relied upon.
Yeah, they had letters signed that appeared to be regular photostats or letters saying this came from this official in AT&T.
Well, what did you do? Buy a bunch of paid telephones? Is that it?
Right. I bought locations installed and all that kind of thing.
How much?
you could invest anywhere from.
How much did you invest?
I invested $33,000, and they got me. I didn't really finish the thing up. They've got about $16,000 of my money.
For how many telephones?
I don't remember the exact numbers since they actually weren't delivered, but
how many phones weren't delivered?
None were delivered.
Oh my goodness!
In other words, I became suspicious of the thing, and I had more money to send in, and I didn't send in the rest of the money, so the thing came apart. But I think they intended it to come apart. In other words, they had all these 800 numbers in Florida, and you could call up and get advice from the technical experts and the business experts and all that kind of thing. You thought you were talking to a real big operation. And they said, oh, our parent company's been incorporated for 25 years and all that kind of thing.
They bought a shell someplace.
But
you see why that doesn't mean anything?
Excuse me.
Do you see why that doesn't mean anything?
Yeah, what is... Yeah.
No, hold it. No, wait a minute.
No, but what...
Wait, hold it. I'm just trying to point out, do you see why the fact that they were... Let's assume that they were incorporated for 25 years. Do you see why that's a meaningless credential or not? If you don't, say so.
No, I guess I thought that the payphone
No, all I want to know is, can you understand why that is not a credential?
No.
Because you could go out and buy an existing company that's been around for 25 years. The corporation's been around for 25 years, but you've only owned it for 30 minutes.
Okay.
And the company may have had a stellar reputation for 25 years, and you're a thief in the night. So just by saying, oh, we've been around for 25 years is meaningless. Totally meaningless.
And after the fact, how can I find out, did this organization ever exist?
Well, it certainly existed someplace because you made your checks out to a corporation, I assume, and they were cashed. Therefore, unless the bank was in collusion with them, there had to be a corporation of that name in that state. There had to be a corporate resolution with a corporate seal filed with the bank in order that the checks could be deposited. But that's no big deal. Anybody can form a corporation. Mention a name. I'll have one for you next week.
Well, the other thing that seemed awfully strange is the fact that after the thing seemed to disappear, if you went into the library and got the telephone books for all these 25 numbers or something in various cities and in the state, there were no listings. So you say they never intended to exist, on paper.
Wait a minute. I don't understand about the 25 cities. What are you telling me?
Well, I'm telling you that this appeared. To me, you're saying we're dealing with a huge corporate organization.
Well, where did you get the 25 cities idea?
Because I had a whole bunch of phone numbers of different subsidiaries of this company.
But that could all switch back to the same phone in Florida or wherever, and you'd never know it.
But these numbers did exist at one time. In other words, these numbers actually work.
I don't know how many ways to tell you. The number may work. I could have a California 413, I believe, is the 213 is the area code for Los Angeles, right?
Right. In other words, I communicated on these numbers.
For example, you called me today, right?
Right.
You don't have a clue where I am.
Yeah. And so
you don't know where I am right now.
Right.
And you don't know where the guy who answered the phone is right now. The lady who answered the phone is, do you?
No. So
as a matter of fact, the lady who answered your telephone right now.
How the freaking thing could be...
Are you listening to me?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
The lady answered the telephone to talk to you, right?
Right.
She and I are 300 miles apart.
Right.
Well, you don't know that.
No, I don't.
Until I tell you.
Right.
We could be 1,000 miles apart and you wouldn't know. Furthermore, I could have a telephone number, a regular telephone, not an 800 number.
Yeah.
With a 213, which I believe is Los Angeles, one of the area codes in LA, right?
Right. I understand all of this.
You dial that, and it could be automatically switched to New York, or it could be switched to Florida, and you'd never known those things happened.
Right.
Well, you were impressed with a lot of foo-fa.
Right. Yeah, I'm a horse's tail. I understand.
Yeah.
And I'm a technical guy. I understand all that crap.
I mean, all these are credentials that don't exist is what I'm trying to get to, you see. Now, the answer is, if you think they were based in Florida, you ought to get hold of the Attorney General immediately in Florida. if you haven't already done so.
Well, so far all I've done is gone through the FBI.
And what's the FBI got to do with this?
Well, since it's an interstate fraud, I thought maybe they'd be.
Well, I would contact, first of all, the Attorney General in Florida.
In the parent state or
wherever you think it was.
Yeah.
The next thing I would do is contact the Federal Trade Commission in Washington, because clearly there's interstate activity here. Did any of this stuff was any of the correspondence mailed to you?
No, that's the other thing. They sent it through this American Express.
Federal Express?
Yeah, Federal Express.
Well, that should have lit up a lamp, too.
Pardon?
That is another thing you should have recognized.
That's the classic.
Sure, they avoid the mails to avoid mail fraud. I think you could probably kiss your 16 grand goodbye. But all the warning signs were there, and you just ignored them.
With the horse's tail.
How did you happen to hear about this? No, don't say that. Listen, we all make big mistakes. Yeah. Hell, I bought some stock the other day. I lost more in the stock market in one day that you're talking about.
Wow.
So, I picked some real good ones. But in any event.
But just the fact that I think they probably took over $1 million out of Syracuse alone.
Well, it could be. How did you hear about them?
They had an ad in the Syracuse paper, and they set up, a hospitality suite up in a local motel.
Well, that's another thing that has sucker written all over it.
Wow.
They had all of the warning signs, and you just weren't listening.
Yeah, I was out of it.
Good luck, kid.
Okay. Well,
I'm Bruce Williams. They were all there. I realize in today's world, you haven't a clue where you're calling. So don't get impressed by, they got numbers in New York City. I could be going to West Jerkimer, nowhere, and you'd never know it. I was call 40. This is Talknet. KSTP, the talk station. Hello, St. Pete. How are you?
Pretty good. As an old insomniac, I'm enjoying you no end.
I'm delighted. Thank you.
I have retired last summer, and while I was working, my employer set up a deferred compensation system, which I entered rather enthusiastically.
How were the funds invested?
They had about 5 or 6 options: fixed, guaranteed, accumulated.
When you say guaranteed, by whom?
They said they were CDs.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Some of these funds are all the company stock, which makes me a little bit nervous.
No, this is AAA blank.
I'm sorry?
It's supposedly a very reputable.
Has nothing to do with reputable.
Okay.
What I'm talking about is if companies invest in their stock, well, look at IBM as an example. They're very reputable, in my opinion, still a very solid company.
Yeah.
But their stock went from 170 to 40 something.
Oh boy.
Yeah. That doesn't mean they aren't reputable.
Well,
it just means their stock got weak. Go ahead.
The advisor there, I told him I was interested in a very solid investment.
Well, go ahead. Would you expect somebody who's running a company to say, well, our stock is not solid?
I wanted the most solid of their options.
All right, and what was that?
Guaranteed accumulation was the first.
Guaranteed? Honey, I don't mean to be unpleasant. Guaranteed by what? The federal government?
Well, he interpreted it as CDs.
All right, that's a pretty decent guarantee. Under $100 grand in a federally insured bank.
Right. And then he said CDs were paying so little, I could move into a fixed account.
Well, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Well, if you don't know, you shouldn't let it be done.
Well,
That's a very bad answer. Yeah. I don't know.
They did very well in the stock setup. Some people made a lot of money.
Yeah, so a lot of us for a time.
Yeah, I think they were mutual funds.
Honey, all right, but you know what the problem with this is, seriously?
Yeah.
You give me all these thinks, I hope, I maybes.
Yeah.
And these are questions you shouldn't think, hope, and maybe. You ought to have specific answers for.
Well, now they're saying it's time for me to pull my money out. I have to start receiving distribution.
All right, I want you to hold on just a minute. We'll talk about that, okay? I'm Bruce Williams. Stick around. This is Talknet. I am chatting with a lady that has, her situation's not different from a lot of people. She had a company pension plan, but she really didn't watch it very carefully. That's what it comes down to, truthfully, is it not?
Yeah.
Well, they have the money, and what the heck?
I have a lot of faith in the people.
Well, I don't get... You know what faith will get you? You save your faith for Sunday mornings. In God we trust. All is pay cash. I mean, you're laughing, honey. I never joke about my money.
I know.
All right, so now you have... How much money have you got in this fund as we speak?
20,000.
How much?
About 20,000.
All right. And you're how old?
Soon to be 66.
Well, you don't have to start taking it down now. You can roll it over until you're 71 and a half.
No, this has to be out the year after you retire.
I don't know how many ways to say this to you. You can take it out and roll it over.
Oh.
Do you need the money right now?
No.
Well, then roll it over.
How? What's a good way to go?
Well, I'm not going to tell you that.
Oh, I wish you would.
Well, I wouldn't, because that would be presumptuous on my part. But there's no reason for you to use that money right now or pay any tax on that money right now. You can roll it over into a qualified IRA if 60 days after you get within 60 days from the time you get the cash. Now, if you're really interested in strictly in absolute safety, right?
Yeah.
Go buy some government bonds.
Okay. How do I...
Or treasury notes, maybe not bonds.
All right. What's a good publication for me to read?
What do you have to read about that? You go down to your bank and say, I want to buy $20,000 worth of government bonds on a pension rollover.
Oh.
And they will do it for you and charge you probably $75.
Oh, okay. And this is a guaranteed, a very safe...
Well, I don't know. How safe do you figure that, what's his face? Mr. Clinton is?
Oh.
That's what we're talking about, the United States government. If you think the government's going to go down, then put it in gold.
Well, this thing is supposed to be paid out in an annuity.
I don't know how many ways to say this to you. You said, how safe is it? The government and securities are as safe as your government.
Okay, but the company that has kept this money usually pays it out as an annuity over a certain period.
Can you get a lump sum distribution?
I think so. I didn't...
We're back to thinking again. You don't know.
Yeah.
What you want to do, now here's what I've only got a few seconds, but here's what you want to do. You write to the company, and you tell them you want to know exactly what your options are, and don't give me this business of they'll do this, they'll do that. You want to know, can you draw it out now in a lump sum and roll it over into some other vehicle? If not, what are your options, and how is the money currently being held, and by whom, and in what form?
Very good.
Those are the questions you have to ask. But ordinarily, you can draw it out in a lump sum, but you don't draw it out as such. You roll it over, which means you put it into another tax-deferred account. So instead of those dollars going to Washington, however many would be sent down there, you hang on to them for another 5 years. When you're 70 and a half, you got to start, I think that's the magic numbers too, you got to start drawing the money. I'm Bruce, this is Talknet. Well, Kevin Delaney tells me I got to go to Buffalo, New York, and where else? Hello there.
Hi, Bruce.
Hello, what a little voice.
This is a real pleasure. Thank you for taking my call.
Well, I'm pleased that you called, but I have to ask you to speak up just a tad.
Okay. My husband is thinking about making a career change.
What's he going to do? What's he do now? Let's start with that.
He's a CPA and a controller of a small corporation.
All right, and he wants to become a 747 pilot.
No.
Skydiver.
He wants to own his own business and be his own boss.
Scuba shop in Hawaii.
still my wish.
What's he want to do?
We're looking at owning and operating a mobile home park.
Oh boy, what a switch.
Really?
This is a mobile home park which is in existence.
Buy one that's in existence or develop one.
Well, developing them in today's world, my love. What's your first name?
Kathy.
Kathy is a very tough proposition because most communities, no, let me say it another way. Many communities are very anti-mobile home. And getting a license to start a new mobile home park in many parts of the country is nigh impossible.
Even in like remote country areas?
Well, it depends upon the attitude of the local denizens. And a lot of them just don't want mobile home. There's a good reason for that. They don't contribute in large measure to the tax base.
I understand.
They do send kids to school, which contributes to the cost of running your community. Overall, they just are not considered real desirable. The people may be super people, but in terms of the community, more communities are trying to get rid of them than are allowing them in. Now, it doesn't mean you can't buy an existing one.
Right.
But I think that's what you're going to wind up doing.
Right. There is some expertise in the family. My husband's brother owns and operates a couple mobile home parks downstate. But before we go any further in our thought process, I told my husband I had to talk to you first to see if you were aware of some very obvious pros and cons.
Well, one of the cons is that there's a heavy-duty prejudice. And I have to believe that the guy in your family knows that. And deals with it.
Right.
No, I mean, he may deal with it very successfully.
But they also have a waiting list.
To get in.
Right.
That has nothing to do with anything. Go on down to town hall and see if why do you suppose they have a waiting list? Let's take it from that posture.
Well, it's a desirable form of housing.
That's not the reason, my dear. The reason they have a waiting list is because more and more are being closed up.
Right.
And nobody can build and open a new one.
But there's still a market out there for them.
Yes, on an existing one.
Right.
I don't know how many ways to say it, my dear. Well, you may be able to find a place that would allow you to open a new one. I'm not going to say that you can't if you went out to, East Nowhere. I don't think you're going to find one in the Buffalo area.
Okay.
Because I don't think you're going to find that most city councils are real happy about somebody who comes in and wants to open a mobile home park.
Right.
Why would they be? They take out a ton more in taxes than they contribute.
So we could investigate buying an existing one.
I would think that's about the only way you're going to go in today's world. And you're a part of the country.
Okay.
And your husband is clearly able to do the analysis of the figures. I mean, he's a CPA. If he's not, we have to worry about him.
Right. No, we've been, working with a lot of figures and projections and stuff. But
forget about projections. If you're buying an existing enterprise, projections aren't what you're looking at. You're looking at it empirically. What has it done? Don't give me this as, we could do this and that other thing. What is it doing now?
It isn't prudent to look at what it can do in the future?
Well, you look at the downside, not the upside. In other words, you see, the trouble with amateurs, for the most part, is they are way, way overly enthusiastic about what they can do. They underestimate the expenses to get what's being done now done.
Right.
That's the problem with amateurs in business.
Very conservative.
It's not a question of being conservative. It has nothing whatever to do with that. But it has to do with this lack of expertise. Now, you're fortunate you have somebody in the business that can give you the hard facts. Your husband should be able to crunch the numbers, and then this other guy should be able to look at them and say, are they realistic? But if I want to start a new one, I wouldn't consider. I wouldn't want one anyway. I wouldn't want one under any conditions.
Now, why is that?
Well, because it's a dinosaur. It's dying. With all and some states have. I'm not expressing my opinion on mobile home living. I'm telling you when I was 25 years ago, when I was a member of the city government. If somebody walked in and wanted to start a mobile home park, we'd have run them out of town on a rail, tarred and feathered. That's 25 years ago.
Well, we're not. I mean, I know there's different types of mobile homes.
Without regard to that, I've never seen. I'm sure they're out there. Southern California has some. Florida has a few. All right. But for the most part, they are losers with regard to the community. They take more out in taxes than they contribute. Now, given that, why, as a city father, would you want one in your town?
Well, if one already exists.
How old are you, sweetheart?
44.
Well, you're too old not to be that naive. I suppose there is one that exists, right? We're gonna just. I'm not picking on you, but I'm trying to show you what may happen to you. Okay?
Right.
You get a mobile home and you buy it, right?
Right.
I don't like mobile homes in my town because I'm losing every day one exists. They send more kids to school and they contribute in taxes and so on and so forth, right? Now I'm the mayor, and I have been a mayor, as you know. What do you suppose I'm going to do?
Raise the taxes?
No, ma'am. I am going to harass the hell out of you. Every time there's the slightest complaint, I'm going to have the health department down there. Every time there's a little altercation, the police are going to be down there. I'm going to make your life very uncomfortable, hoping that you'll sell it out and maybe they'll build a strip mall or something that I can get some money out of. For my town. And you say that's a terrible thing to do as a government official. By the other side of that, you got responsibility to the rest of the taxpayers.
Right, I understand.
Now, when you're talking about an enterprise which is a tax loser in most communities, they are not welcome. The only way I would consider it is to buy an existing upscale accepted operation, and they're going to be expensive.
Okay.
But I would never consider starting one in today's world in your part of the country.
Well, relocation's possible.
Well, I mean, if you want to go out to some very, very sparsely settled area of the far west, there's a lot more tolerance, or parts of the deep south. There may be a lot more tolerance to this sort of activity. But I don't think you're going to find it where you are. I know you're not going to find it where you are.
Well, I appreciate it.
See, we're talking business now, not what we like or dislike.
No, I understand. We're talking bottom line.
Exactly so. I do wish you well, dear.
Thank you.
I'm Bruce Williams. Stick around. This is Talknet. As I live and breathe, East Brunswick, New Jersey, WCTC country.
Hello, Bruce. Thank you very much for taking my call.
You're very welcome. I used to live in East Brunswick.
Is that a fact?
When I was in college.
I'm not from around here, but my wife's family is.
Well, I bought my first home when I was a sophomore in college in East Brunswick. On Old Stage Road.
Oh, yes. I know where that is.
Well, there was very little of it at that time. Probably about 10 houses. Now it's a well-built-up street.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, my friend?
Anyway, my wife and I just returned from a cruise. And
that's good so far, I guess.
Well, the first day was terrific.
Where'd you go?
We went to Barbados, Martinique, St. Martin, St. Thomas, and probably one island that I shouldn't mention because it's one that the cruise line takes you only to. It's a private island.
Oh, they own their own island? Yeah, I've never been to one of those private islands that I thought was worth visiting.
Well, this one wasn't so hot, except the only thing you could do is go to the beach. That was it.
Yeah, it's in St. Martin, and you said Martinique?
Yes, I'm not too fond of Martinique.
I thought I would never send anybody to Martinique voluntarily.
I agree. The rest of the island...
Barbados was fun, though.
I enjoyed Barbados. I enjoyed St. Martin, St. Thomas.
Yeah, St. Thomas, okay. St. Martin, I'm lukewarm on, too.
And I had fun at San Juan, also.
San Juan is super. Okay, so you went on a cruise. You're back in one piece.
Yes. However, on the second day, my wife had either a cabin steward or an assistant cabin steward force himself on her.
You gotta be kidding.
No, and I had about the same response when my wife came.
I've never heard of that happening. I'm sure it does, but I've never heard of that happening.
I heard of a couple rumors in the past, things like that, but I was really shocked.
There was nothing consummated, or was there?
Well,
was there a rape or not?
No, not in the sense of,
There was no physical penetration. That's what a rape, that constitutes rape.
Absolutely, there was not.
But there was certainly some... was it physical or just overtures?
Well, it was definitely physical also. What happened, if you want me to tell you, my wife went to go exchange some towels. This was not her cabin store we used. She was down at a room with some friends who went on the cruise with us. He said, follow me. So she followed him into the room where he keeps the towels, and he closed the door behind her. And then he started coming on to her, saying how beautiful she was, putting his hands all over her body, kissing her neck. She's pushing him away, and, you know, he just keeps on being very persistent. And she tried to get out, the door was locked. And finally, he kept on saying, well, meet me at a certain time. She was pushing the wedding ring right in his face, saying, I'm married. He says, no, that doesn't matter, meet me later. And finally, she agreed to a time to meet him, and he set her free.
Good.
I'm so glad she did that.
What?
I'm very glad that she agreed.
Absolutely. That's where you set her up, and then I would hope that then you went to the administration on the boat.
We did.
Okay.
Honestly, I was up in the jacuzzi. My wife and her friend went within 45 minutes, I will say, to the deputy purser's office.
Should have gone right to the captain's office.
You're right. And I think I've learned from now that that's where we should have gone. However, my wife and her friend went right to the deputy purser. And he said he would look into it.
Look into it?
Yes, that's all he said. He said he'd look into it.
What crap is that?
My wife came up and told me what happened. I was up in the jacuzzi, and I got extremely upset, and I went down into the deputy's office. I didn't ask for an appointment. I just went right in there. He and I had a bunch of unfriendly words.
Why unfriendly?
Because I was upset that should not happen.
Well, there's nothing he could do to prevent it from happening.
You're right, and I was wrong in that respect. Maybe it was my temper coming out or whatever. Or maybe it was...
All right, look, you're upset and frustrated. Any normal husband, boyfriend, or whatever would feel the same way.
I agree.
Let's go kill a son of a you-know-what.
Right, well, I wanted to use him for shark bait. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, after I had spoken with him, he assured me that the violator would be disembarked from the ship on the next port. And so I agreed to that. And I left. The next day, the purser called me into his office and basically said that it was just his word against my wife's word, and that no action would be taken other than to move him to another part of the ship.
Well, I want to put you on hold while I do a little commercial, and then I'll tell you. Well, I think you got. Well, it's all right. Stick around. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. The talk station. I'm talking with a gentleman who understandably would be upset. He went on a cruise. One of the crew came onto his wife, made advances, grabbed her, and all the things that are absolutely verboten. She agreed to meet him later, which was smart, so she'd get away, but that's where the ball got badly fumbled, in my opinion. The next stop should have been the captain's office, and the meeting should have taken place, which would have set this guy up. The captain has ultimate authority in the ship. We're not talking about civil rights and the rest of that crap. And that would have been the end of that. But we didn't do it that way, right?
Right. So the purser also told me that he had discussed this with the captain, and this decision to keep this violator on board came down from the captain.
Okay, well, I want that in the captain's own little ruby reds.
I tried to run into him a couple days later, and I didn't run into him. I wanted to run into him.
Run into him? You go to his office and pound on his wood.
Right. Well, I wanted to run into him with people around. Really, I just wanted witnesses of our discussion, I guess.
Well, all right.
Anyway, when we stopped at St. Thomas, I called the corporate office and telephoned a complaint. Then when we were leaving on disembarking day...
Was that San Juan?
Yes, in San Juan. The officers on board came up to me and just told me off the record, he says he agrees that the cruise line, or the captain, the purser, screwed up. They handled it wrong. And I agreed because I thought the guy should have been disembarked because from that point on, if my wife ever ran into him in the hall, he knows that my wife handed him in, and so I feared for my wife. So one of the first things I did when I got home was I contacted the travel agent that I booked this through, informed him of what happened. He got back in touch with me of a number for passenger claims and a certain gentleman there that wants to speak to me. And he also wants a written letter of, the turn of events of exactly what happened. So basically, my question is if you were in my shoes now, knowing what I have done, what action would you take from here? And if anything is offered by the cruise lines as far as trying to resolve this, what would be satisfactory to you?
Oh, I suppose a free cruise would be satisfactory. Don't say to me, I never want to go on a cruise again or whatever, because that's like falling off a horse or whatever,
Well, we've been on, this is like our 5th or 6th.
Okay, so you'd go on another cruise.
Right.
But I'd ask her for the cruise. So this one was totally ruined, but the captain, the purser, the assistant purser badly bungled this. That my wife, when a sex crime happens, where there's a decent run police department and the victim agrees to meet the individual involved, clearly a trap is set so that person is nailed right to the wall.
Right.
And that would be the only appropriate action on the part of the assistant purser, captain, or anybody in between.
Okay.
And they didn't operate appropriately. And as a consequence, the cruise was completely ruined for my wife and for my friends.
There were 6 of us on board, and it was ruined for my friends because obviously the other 2 women were worried.
Yeah, and you can say, I think it's probably the case that my wife was clearly afraid to go anywhere unescorted, and no one should have to live that way in such close proximity. And furthermore, from the point of view of the cruise line, here's a guy that's going to do this again.
Right.
And it's going to cause, and it with maybe not as happy an ending, and happy would be in quotation marks.
Right, absolutely.
But, I mean, there's not a whole lot that other than that. You see, even the jurisdiction was theirs. Happened at sea.
Right. That's why I didn't know how to handle it, because it did happen at sea. And
but I would write a very strong letter to the chief executive officer of that cruise line. Hell, with this business of a public relations. Again, there's a lesson there for you too, because you screwed up.
Right.
You should have gone right to the captain. I don't want to hear about I run him into the hole, I'll catch him at the dinner, or that sort of thing. You should have been right up in his office. As soon as you knew about this thing. And your wife screwed up by going to the assistant purser.
Okay.
She should have gone directly to the captain herself or to you to go to the captain together.
Right.
You never mess around with because how do you know how close the assistant purser? The assistant purser may have hired this guy.
That's true.
And it's his butt on the line, which he's going to try to cover.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you live and learn. I'm glad nothing worse happened.
That's true.
Let me know what the response is, would you?
I sure will.
I'd appreciate it.
Right. Thank you very much.
Take good care, guy. Where are we going now? We're going to Santa Maria, California. Hello there.
Hello, Bruce.
Hey, how are we doing?
Not too bad, yourself?
Good, thanks.
All right, great. I got a question for you.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Hey, super. Say, we're buying a condo as a vacation property over in Virginia.
We're not buying it. We're buying the condo, not a timeshare.
Condominium.
But you're purchasing it yourself.
Sure am.
The whole deal.
The whole deal.
Oh, okay.
As some vacation property in Virginia. And I found out last week, and struck me slightly odd, that our attorney that we're going through in order to buy the condo is not only working for us as the buyers, but he's also working for the sellers during the closing.
Clearly a conflict of interest firearm.
Yes. Okay, it sounds good. We may have to do that.
No, not may have to do that. I don't think you were listening to me. Fire him.
Okay.
He is in conflict.
Yeah.
And he didn't tell you. How did you learn this?
I didn't learn it. My parents had learned it.
How did they learn it?
I don't really know.
The point is you didn't learn it from him. Or did they?
Possibly. I have to get back with them.
Well, I mean, it's simple. If he told them, I still fire him. He should not be representing both parties. That's clearly a conflict. End of story.
Okay. Sounds good then. That's what we got to do.
I don't think there's any question.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of curious, though. We had hired him first. I guess it's a small area where we're buying the condominium at. There's only a number of attorneys in the area.
And you know the old story, one attorney, no business. Two attorneys, they both get rich. You know how that works.
But since we hired him first,
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
The fact that the guy would take the other, I don't think you're getting the message. If he did agree to represent the other party, right there, I would have lost any faith in him and his integrity.
Right.
He doesn't have the right to represent two. How can he possibly represent two parties in who are, for all intents and purposes, in this arrangement in an adversarial position?
Right.
What may be good for you would be bad for them, vice versa.
Well, yeah, I'd mentioned going on and getting another attorney before. The only thing is that we had dealt with this attorney before when we purchased some land previously.
I don't know how many ways to say it. If he would put himself in that position, I wouldn't hire him to treat my daughter bad. I do wish you well, guy.
All right, thank you, Bruce.
Take good care. There's too many good attorneys out there to use a bad one. This is Talknet. Orlando, Florida, you've been patient. We appreciate that. What's going on?
Oh, hi, Bruce. Thank you for taking my call.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, Bruce, we have health insurance with a major company and second insurance to cover our co-payments. I want to know if you think we need the second insurance. So, will I start and tell you a little about our first insurance?
Tell me a little bit about you.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
About your financial position.
Oh, well, you asked me what?
Well, how much are you worth?
Oh, not very much. You mean how much money do we have?
Yeah.
Our monthly income is, let me see, $2,400.
And what do you have stashed away?
Oh, about $30,000.
That's it?
That's it.
And how much is the co-insurance premium?
$360.80 a quarter.
A quarter?
Yeah. And all it covers is 5% co-payment. No drugs.
And how much was the maximum you get hit for the co-payment before it disappears?
You mean before we get catastrophic?
Before you get 100% coverage. Usually it's for so many thousand, then it goes away.
Oh, we get catastrophic insurance from coverage from the first insurance.
What I'm trying to get to is, what is the maximum you were insuring? How much could you get hit for illness?
$2,500.
On the co-insurance?
Right.
And you're paying $1,200 a year premium, $1,600?
Yeah, $1,400.
And the max is $2,500 per illness.
Right. They cover what the amount that we would have to pay before.
I understand that, but I want to know how much, and you just told me $2,500.
Right.
And you're paying $1,400 for that coverage. I think it's way too much. That's $2,500 per occurrence, is it not?
Per year.
Per year?
Right.
And you're paying over half to cover that?
Yeah.
Something wrong with that. There's something you're not telling me you don't understand.
Something I don't understand, I guess.
I would think so, because I can't imagine that the premium would be, in this case, 60% of the amount that they would cover. There's something wrong.
Yeah, but listen, let me tell you a little about the first.
I've only got about 15 seconds. Talk quick.
Okay. Well, when we pay our deductible, they pay 95% because we use all preferred provider, doctors and hospitals. So we're 100%, 95% covered there, 100% hospital with no deductible.
Well, what you're are you telling me again, that's a yes or a no, the maximum you can be hit for is $2,500 a year?
Right.
Then don't carry insurance for $300 a quarter, $350 a quarter, that's insanity. I do wish you well, I hope I've understood correctly. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet.
Someone
1-800-743-8000, 800-743-8000. That'll just get you winging it here from just about anywhere in North America. Seattle, I guess you're on the edge of the continent over there, but let's talk. Hello.
Bruce, listen to you every night on KJR.
Well, I'm very pleased you're here. What's on your mind, my friend?
Bruce, we've lived in the same home for 30 years.
Well, that time you moved.
Yeah, we're thinking about it. And we've planted a lot of beautiful evergreens. We have about 40 or 50 beautiful trees.
Well, you're part of the world. They must grow like weeds.
They do. And is there any stipulation we can put in a contract that when we sell the home, that none of the trees can be cut down?
I doubt it very seriously.
You can't do that, huh?
Well, you could, but I don't think you can enforce it. How is that in the public good? How does that benefit the public? I mean, how could you justify that? Because you like the trees, that's all.
Yeah, a lot of people around here come into homes and just strip the property. You know, they want firewood.
But it's their property.
That's true.
And it's their firewood.
That's true.
I mean, they want to rip the house down. They want to paint it pink with polka dots. When they buy it, that's their privilege. I know it's the house you've known and loved and cherished.
Well, maybe we'll live in it 30 more years then.
You feel that strongly about the trees?
No, they're just nice trees.
That wasn't what I said.
No, I'm not.
Would you stay there just to preserve the trees?
No way.
I would hope not. Where would you? I mean, what prompts? How do I put this? Why are you considering moving now or selling now?
Oh, I'm getting close to retirement.
Yeah.
And we're just maybe looking around for some other property.
In the same area?
No, further away.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got to tell you something. What happens to those trees, in my opinion, should not even be a remote consideration.
Well, that's true, maybe.
I mean, those trees have no fame. They're lovely, and I've got some trees that I planted. I also have some trees on property that I no longer own that I planted. They're huge. And the current owner, who was one after the one I sold to, if he wants to go down there with his little axe and play George Washington, clearly his privilege.
My wife always tells me your favorite motto: never love anything, right?
No, wait a minute. I never said never love anything.
That don't love you back.
That can't love you back. That's right. I mean, look, I enjoy. Like you guys, I planted some trees. I built a miniature golf course 1 million years ago. On a business property that I owned. The miniature golf course is long gone, but the landscaping that I put in is still there. And some of those trees are pretty substantial today. And I hope that they're there for a long time. But the guy who owns the place now wants to get a bulldozer. That's certainly his business, and I'm not going to mourn. They suited. They were fine when I was there, and they were good for me. I've owned one home, not quite as long as yours, but certainly was coming up on 26 years. And frankly, I'm not going to sell it because I don't need the money. I'm going to see. This is my legacy to my kids. I'm really going to stick them. You know what I'm doing to them? Yeah. I'm going to leave them this house, see. But they're going to have to go up in the attic and the cellar and get rid of all this stuff. And they got to open every box and go through everything and decide, should we keep this? Who gets this? And I already told them I hid a little money around, say. Not much, but just enough to get interested in.
Well, we're kind of like, we don't need the money.
Well, no, but I'm telling you, have you lost a parent?
2.
Or did you have to go through their stuff?
Yeah, well, one I had.
It's a crappy job. I got stuff from my mother who passed away almost a year ago.
Yeah, it is.
And I still haven't gone through those boxes. I just haven't been able to bring myself to do it. It's a nuisance, right? Through pictures and letters and documents. My brother's been very helpful. He kind of winnowed it down, but there's some things I have to do. Well, I got a whole attic full of, the stuff they had when they were children or whatever. And I'm going to leave. They're going to have to get together and clean that out. And I'm going to be, wherever I go, I'm going to be sitting laughing at them. I just think it's a rotten trick. I'm looking forward to it. I do wish you well, guy.
Thank you very much.
Bruce Williams. I already told the kids about this too. So nobody, my kids don't go around to them. I tell them what a dirty trick. I'm going to just keep stuff up there, all of the second grade pictures and whatever. But they got to make the decision to throw it out. This is Talknet. The City by the Bay, San Francisco. We have precisely 2 minutes to share together.
Hi, I have a question for you. My ex-husband owed $1,500 worth in taxes, and my wages were garnished. And after we got divorced, he paid the taxes, and I'm wondering how I can get the money back that was garnished.
Are you saying that it was just your husband's taxes and not yours, your ex-husband, that it was on a return that he only filed and it wasn't a joint return?
Well, actually, it was a joint return.
Well, what she's saying, Jackie, is that she was garnished for whatever number of dollars, and then he paid the entire bill, so there's been a duplication of payment.
Right. Because he's a police officer and he received a severance check for $7,000. And, the taxes, they never took taxes out of that tax.
Without regard to that, the fact is he did pay the entire tax obligation.
Right.
And you were also garnished. She's saying that there's been a double payment. How do you get the money back?
Well, which happened first? Did she, you get garnished first or he paid the tax first?
I got garnished first.
You got garnished first. Then chances are, if you have, he may have not paid the entire bill. He may only paid the bill that was the balance due after.
Let us assume that. How do you untwine so we can't speculate? How do we unwind this thing?
Okay, the easiest thing to do would be go in. The easiest thing to do if you can do it is get the money back from your husband. Chances are he didn't pay the entire bill. He paid.
Well, let's assume that he did. How do we untwine? How do we untangle it?
Okay. The easiest thing would be to go to the IRS and get it straightened out. Go down to the nearest office, explain them the situation.
This might be another chance for a proper response.
Exactly. Could be.
Give him a shot, sweetheart. Thank you so much for your call. My thanks to Mike Quinn, Jackie Bracey, Janet Lindstrom, Havard, Brooks Anthony, Burke, Desiree Harris, my goodness. Not to mention all the guys and gals in our studio. Hey kids, it was fun. I know it's not easy, but give it your best pop, huh? You try and do what's right. I'm Bruce Williams. Keep in touch.
AM 1500 KSTP.
Broadbrook, New York. Hello there. Hi, Bruce. Hi. Actually, it's Connecticut, but that's close enough. He told me New York. What can I tell you? Well, this is...
Let's make it Michigan. I like that better.
Okay, why not? This is an absolute honor to talk with you.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you.
We listen to you faithfully. My 12-year-old son, Nathan, listens to you, and he's your second biggest fan. I'm your biggest, but we listen regularly.
That's very much appreciated. What's on your mind?
I want to run by you a sales position that I've been offered, but I would like to back up very briefly and tell you just a tad about me. I'm a video engineer. Been in the business broadcasting for 20 years. I was laid off last January. I am, for lack of a better word, I guess, underemployed. I've been freelancing, and I did well last year. Okay, I would like to get into the sales end of broadcast equipment. I know the equipment extremely well, so I've offered a position.
You have been offered a position.
Right.
All right.
Commission only.
I don't have any problem with that.
Okay, these are the quick numbers. The area that I've been offered right now is doing $1.2 million, and nobody's calling on them. The problem, well, I'll run down
the territory. You mean is doing $1.2 million.
The territory.
How big a territory is that, by the way?
The territory would be Western Mass, Southern Vermont, Southern New Hampshire. Not a big area. Probably.
That's pretty good size.
Okay. All right. Basically, these are the perks. Car allowance, $500 a month. The gas card. Car phone with an amount. Phone charge card, phone line in the house. The deal is on sales. They get a percentage, 10% net to cover their overhead.
What does that mean?
In other words, let's say an item goes out of, let's say their gross profit, as I understand it, is typically, let's say on a broadcast piece of equipment, say the profit is $10,000 gross profit. They keep $1,000 for overhead. That leaves $9,000. Of that $9,000, I get 30%.
Well, let's go back to the $1.2 million it's already doing.
Okay. That's where the problem is. Go ahead, you're going to ask me something.
Yeah, I want to know do you get a credit for that, or do you get...
I'm not working for that company yet, no. The problem with the $1.2 million is that business was basically put out, and the profit on that was about 11%
net. In other words, they bid very low to get the business, and there was no...
Well, it's $130,000.
Right.
How much are they... Maybe I missed something. Is this a straight commission deal?
A commission deal.
Okay. Now, there's $1.2 million being done.
Right.
Is that part of your book? Do you get I don't mean the $1.2 million actual business, but do you get those customers?
Right. I would be walking into an area that has been producing.
I understand that, but do you get the customers?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I just walk right in.
All right. I know the answer is yes.
Yes.
Now, I don't know your business. Is there a reasonable expectation of those customers doing more business with you this year or next year?
Probably the unknown is no one has called on these folks. Most of this business has come in strictly by, hi, hello, we'd like to buy something, send it to us.
But my question stands. Is there... Well, what is your typical... Let me do it this way. What's the typical customer? Who is the typical customer?
Typical customer in this particular area would be cable TV companies.
All right, that's...
Colleges.
All right, I got you.
Those type video...
Broadcasters, in other words. In some being on the broadcast spectrum.
Absolutely.
All right. Then, so I know a little bit about that part of it. We're always buying stuff. Stuff goes bad, equipment has to be replaced and so forth.
Exactly.
Are you guys competitive?
Yes.
Is the equipment good equipment? I mean, there's good and there's not so good.
I can't mention the brands.
I don't want you to.
Brands that you know.
Okay.
All of the national and international.
Good, solid brand.
Right. That those companies that are made off,
All right, good, solid brand.
Yes.
Now, well, what are you asking me? I mean,
I'm looking for some sense on a commission-only deal.
Over and above your expenses.
Right.
Well, if the territory can do, what kind of money do you want to earn? I mean, I'd like to earn, I know what I'd like to earn. What do you figure is fair?
On this position?
No. How much money? Well, yeah, in this position. How much money do you think you ought to earn a year?
50.
Well, in that case, if you got 5%, you're home free.
Okay. Well, of that 1.2, there was no margin for me. In other words, the 1.2 generated their overhead only in net profit. In other words, in order to get that business, they had to bid.
You told me they got $130,000 profit in there.
Right.
I can't imagine their expenses are $130,000.
Okay, well that's where I'm looking for some feedback. I can't imagine that either.
Well, I mean, it would seem to me that it ought to be a sliding scale.
Okay.
Of commissions, and unfortunately, it would probably be a sliding scale with a relatively modest commission, say 5% for the first million. That would be there's your 50,000, and 7.5% of the next $500,000, we'll say, and 10% of the next $500,000, or 10% thereafter, or something of that nature.
All right, I see what you're saying. My worry is that no one has called on this area, so they're...
Well, but that's a virgin territory.
No one from this company.
Well, I understand that, but my goodness gracious, if $1 million will walk in without any effort, you should be able to stir up the bushes for $1.5 million.
I would hope.
Well, I mean, go for it. What do you have to lose?
Why I'm going to, because I know the business and I know the equipment inside and out, and I want to progress into the sales and sales engineering. But these kinds of expenses that are covered, are these typical of sales?
I think that's pretty generous, to tell you the truth.
Sorry?
They're pretty generous where I'm sitting.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do wish you well, my friend.
Thank you so much, Bruce.
Okay, kid, I'm Bruce Williams. Good luck with that. This is Talknet.
AM 1500 KSTP.
Alrighty, we go to Keys Country, Gladewater, Texas. Hello there.
Well, hello, Bruce.
Hello, you and my son must be friends.
I've never met him personally, but I've talked to him very often.
You've talked to him on the air, huh?
Yes, and I think he's a great young fella. He's a great asset.
Well, I certainly think so too. We can agree on that one. What's on your mind, dear?
Well, my problem, Bruce, is an easement property. I mean easement.
On your property, okay.
I own a piece of commercial property in Gladewater. There's a adjoining piece of commercial property next to me. that's a service station, that has been a service station. They had to remove a tank from the back portion of their property, and my sewer line, water line happened to cross. And the company that took the tank out didn't know that there was a line there.
Did you have an easement across that?
Yes, sir. I've had it. It's been in effect for well over 50 years.
Oh, boy. And they just ripped out the tank and ripped out your lines, huh?
Yes, sir. Now, I wasn't aware of the sewer line being taken out, but when the water line was, I got no water to my business, I naturally called a plumber, and he fixed that, which cost me a nice little $300. And then I discovered this sewer line.
Right, so what do the people say who yanked the tank?
I have only talked to the owner of the property next door, and he's very much against helping me in any way, and it's going to cost me, all total will cost me around $1,000.
Wait, I only got a couple of seconds now. You do have an easement of record across that property, is that correct?
I sure do.
It's a utility easement.
Yes, sir.
And how'd the tank get underneath the lines?
Well, evidently the tank was put in to the lines.
After the lines?
Yes, sir.
Well, how did they get it under the lines then?
I don't know, Bruce. I wasn't even aware of it happening. I knew that.
All right. Well, the point is, if you have an easement.
Yes, sir.
But listen to me. I only got a couple seconds.
Yes, sir.
It was incumbent upon the person who did the digging to be certain that there was nothing under the ground, or make reasonable search to see there's nothing under the ground before he started using that backhoe.
Is that right?
And he is the agent of the owner of that property. Now, maybe you'll have to take them both to small claims court, but I don't think there's any question that if there's a utility easement of record and they destroyed it, they're responsible for putting it back. If they didn't, I think you'll prevail. I hope so. I'm Bruce. This is Talknet.
The talk station.
Alrighty, let's go to Keene, New Hampshire. Hello there.
Yeah, Bruce, I have a problem with the bank settling the final payment on a 36-month installment note secured by financial securities as collateral.
What seems to be the difficulty?
Well, the bank sent a notice of final payment due, which was $73.30 higher than the monthly payments, and that this was accumulated interest for payments made after the due date. But the bank did agree that all payments were made within the grace period. Now, the note does state that each payment, when made, shall be applied first towards accrued finance charges, with the remainder of each payment being applied to reduce the principal. And stated the total dollar amount of finance charge, total of payments.
But is it a daily interest rate, or is it an annual interest rate?
Well,
this is an area where there's a lot of discussion.
Yeah.
Where it says due on the 1st, late after the 16th, and depending on how the note is written, you have to pay interest for those extra days in the middle, which I think stinks.
Yeah, it's got an annual percentage rate stated on the loan.
Right.
And the coupon book of 36 payments had 35 equal payments. They were due on the 23rd, and then they had a stated date after which you would pay a higher amount.
About the 8th of the following month or something like that?
Yeah, it was generally the 4th of the month.
Okay.
It was 12 days. If it wasn't paid within 12, it was late. And I generally paid it in 10 or 11 days, as you suggested.
Right. If the note is written in such a fashion that you're responsible for that, you're stuck for it.
I can't find anywhere on it that it's daily. It's got the annual percentage rate, and just that one statement that says each payment, when made, shall be applied first towards accrued finance charges, with the remainder of each payment being applied to reduce the principal balance.
Well, I think I don't know. I just don't know how it should be stated.
Yeah, it has a total finance charge on there. Now, in other words, it all seems to be in finite amounts, and nowhere can I find anything about daily interest.
I see what you're saying. I just don't have an answer for you. I know exactly what they're claiming. I've had bankers call me and tell me that they're correct, depending on the language, but I apologize. I don't know what the language should be to protect you from that.
Yeah, and of course after I signed the loan, which I gave you information on, they gave me a coupon book which, had
the typical stuff.
Monthly amount, and I was careful and did pay within
the grace period.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm repeating myself.
Yeah.
There is language, and I can't tell you what it is, that says you can do what you did without paying a penalty, but you do have to pay for the extra days you use the money. That's their theory.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that language
I'll
is.
have to go back and have them point out that language to me.
There you go.
I don't see it. I was with them today, and the one person couldn't satisfy me, and so I guess I'll have to go back and.
I wish I could help you because I know what the hook is, but I just don't know how it's stated.
Yeah. So nothing particular to look for.
Well, again, I'm over my head. That's all.
Oh, thanks, Bruce.
I wish you well, kid. Yeah, it happens sometimes. I'm sorry, guys, got to let you down, but I just don't know. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. Moorhead City, North Carolina. Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I am just fine, thank you.
Good. My problem is, several months ago, my father had a meeting with my two brothers and I to discuss his will.
Oh, yeah, the father and kid will routine.
Yeah.
I've been there.
It was real lovely.
Well, it has to be done.
He wants everything divided equally, 3 ways, including his business.
Well, that's your father is, I think, being very, very, term I'm searching for, emotional, loving, but not practical.
Okay, he said that all 3 of us would have an equal share of the business, but if you don't work there, you don't share in the profits. So my question was, if you don't work there and you can't share in the profits, do we have to share in the liabilities of it?
What's the advantage? I think how old is your dad?
64.
All right, he's a young guy, he's lucid and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I think you ought to talk to your father and say it's not a reasonable will. Is there anybody working there now?
Yeah, my brother works there, but he's real irresponsible, and I don't think he's not capable of running the business.
Well, who's going to run it? What kind of business is it?
It's an auto repair shop.
Well, it's not worth a hell of a lot of money anyway.
Well, he makes a good living off of it.
No, there's a lot of things that make good living. I have a friend that has a construction company that does, he makes more than a good living.
Mm-hmm.
But it has no value except the equipment, according to him.
Mm-hmm.
He says nobody will buy it. And I don't think the repair shop is going to be sold for very much anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's anything. Is there real estate involved?
Yes.
Well, the real estate may have a value. It seems to me, if I were your dad, I would appoint an executor who was directed to sell the business at the earliest possibility and split the money.
Okay, well, I just think they take it and they go spend it, and then
well, that's all right.
There's not a problem then.
They spend it or don't spend it, what there is, man.
Okay.
But to try to, this business of trying to achieve total equity among your children is just about impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already told my kids there's not going to be equity.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be out of balance. Just the way things work.
Well, if he does that anyway, if he goes ahead and leaves it to all 3 of us,
what's the best thing you guys want to do? Sit down and say, let's sell this thing.
Okay.
And if 2 out of 3 want to sell it, and I assume that would be the case.
Well, see, he's put a stipulation to that, too. He says the only way the business can be sold is if all 3 of us want to agree. 2 of us would agree.
He can put that in his will, but you can go to court and have that set aside.
Okay. Well, that answers my question then.
Now, if he has something in there, if anybody contests the will in any way, they're out completely, that can get very expensive. I hope nobody puts that in his head.
Okay.
But if your old man's a very stubborn guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure he loves you all, but he's not being very smart.
Well, I think everything's being done to protect one of the brothers.
The brother that works there.
Yeah.
The irresponsible brother.
The very irresponsible brother.
How old is this irresponsible one?
He's 38.
Why is he trying to protect him?
I don't know. I couldn't answer it.
Well, why doesn't he just leave the business to him and get it over with?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Why don't you and your brother just say, look, this is the way you feel, give it to him. We want no part of it.
Well, I have told him. I've told him I didn't want any part of it. And I'm sure my other brother would say the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Your father's a foolish man.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's a loving man, but a foolish man. All he's going to do is cause trouble after he leaves, which that's very inconsiderate.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell him I said so, for whatever it's worth.
Okay, I'll do that.
I do wish you well.
All right, thank you.
New Albany, Indiana, your turn. Hello. Ooh, that was a good one. Where do we go from there? Let's take a little time out and get organized. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet.
AM 1500 KSTP.
Alrighty, to New Albany, Indiana. Hello there. Welcome to my world.
Hello, Harry.
Hi, I understand we got disconnected there.
Yes, we did.
Forgot.
That's all right.
Wasn't my fault, I promise.
We've got a big career change, big decision in our life.
Well, a lot of people are changing careers these days.
Well, we're not changing. My husband's graduating from college.
Well, how nice.
He served in the military for 4.5 years and then went to college.
He's undergraduate or graduate?
Undergraduate.
Okay, and what did he study?
General studies. And
well, what's he getting his degree in?
His degree is in general studies.
I never heard of that.
Well, we're trying to prepare for him to go to law school next year.
Oh, okay.
But he's got offered a job with a major retailer. I heard one of the gals earlier talk about she hopes she doesn't have kids while her husband's in school, and we're having our second surprise baby.
Surprise.
He's been in school. It's our third child, but it's our second surprise.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to, well, anyway.
So
congratulations.
Yeah, but the best thing that we didn't do is get a mortgage while we were in school.
Indeed.
But my question is May 5th, I'm having our baby, because I'll have it by cesarean. May 10th is his graduation. May 13th, they want him on the job site for 12 weeks of training, which is an hour and a half away.
Now, what is this doing?
It's a major retailer.
And is it a job that he wants to accept?
We want to, but we have some questions.
All right, go ahead.
We don't know where we're going to go after the 12 weeks.
In other words, they can assign him, how big a company is this? I mean, is it anywhere in the country, anywhere in the region, or what?
He's got a region. It's from Indianapolis down to Florida.
That's where he's going to wind up, somewhere in that big abyss, huh?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's not the real major concern. Our concern is that, let's see here. The first move, like I'm going to be living here possibly in New Albany. We don't know if we should move to where he's going to be an hour and a half away.
Not for 12 weeks? No. Why doesn't he commute?
Well, it's an hour and a half away, and
I did that for years. I commuted a lot, not maybe the distances, but I commuted 2.5 hours in and an hour and a half home for 10 years.
You did?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we didn't know if it
didn't kill me.
We didn't.
And I guarantee you, under much more adverse conditions than you're going to find any place in Indiana. Because I drove into New York City.
Right.
Which was, you say right, unless you've done that on a regular basis at commuter hours, you can't imagine what we're talking about.
Right, exactly.
So that an hour and a half ride is not much fun, but I wouldn't move for 12 weeks to give up an hour and a half ride.
Right.
See, here's the problem. I don't mean this in any way critically, okay? In your part of the world, an hour and a half commute's unheard of, right? In Southern California, that's a short commute.
Right.
In the New York City area, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, that's not considered a big commute, an hour and a half a day each way. A lot of guys do that. They're doing that for 30 years. That's by train and subway and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Which is a lot less comfortable than sitting in your car listening to the stereo or talk radio. No, that would be insanity to move for 12 weeks.
Because then after that, they're going to pay full moving expenses to wherever we go.
I'd stay put. And if you really can't stand to let them stay in a furnished room for a couple nights a week, but I wouldn't do that. Not for an hour and a half.
Because our main goal is to really just, maybe take this for a year and get him prepared again to apply to some more law schools and stuff. And
how old is he?
29.
No, ma'am, I wouldn't even consider a move for that little bit of a commute. I say a little bit. Sounds like a lot to you, but doesn't sound much to me. What is it, about 80 miles?
76.
No big deal.
So you would commute. You know, we're just, you know.
As I said, honey, I drove 50 miles in the worst traffic in the world.
Excuse me?
I drove 50 miles each way for 10 years in the worst traffic in the world.
Yeah,
and there are people that, you know, in Los Angeles, you know what time rush hour starts?
Yeah, I used to live out there.
Well, then you know. What time does it start?
At 3?
Yeah, about 5 in the morning, literally. 5 a.m.
Oh, I thought you meant in the afternoon.
No, in the morning. 5:30. The freeways are full.
Right.
So I don't think it's any great hardship for 12 little weeks for him to drive back and forth.
Okay. So you think we ought to just plunge in and let him drive back and forth for the 12 weeks and see where they take us, and
there you go.
Go on for it and live for a year and
see what then. You may have a different perspective altogether a year from now.
Right.
I wish you well, dear.
All right, thanks.
Take good care.
I can tell her that they don't have a mortgage. Because I tell you what, we didn't plan to move after he got out of college. We wanted to stay right here, and that's, you know,
things do change, don't they?
Yes.
They sure do. Lynn Mass, hello there.
Yes, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I have a real estate question, more concerning real estate brokerage and how the whole real estate industry works.
All right, where is the hang-up?
I'm working with a couple brokers looking for houses.
All right.
And every time they give me an information sheet on a house, there's a disclosure statement that says all real estate people represent the interest of sellers.
That's true.
Okay.
Other than a buyer's broker.
Well, I'm working with people who have listed property, and each one shows me what their listings are. However,
that's right. Whether they listed it or whether they did not, they are working for the seller.
They're working for the seller.
Yeah, there's nothing immoral or dishonest about that.
Oh, I understand that. However, they provide me with information that I'm wondering.
Give me an example.
You see, one case they told me that to keep it under my hat, but the seller is getting divorced, and this is a distress sale, and the property's overpriced.
Well, I got news for you. That's a very unethical broker.
Well, on every property I've looked at, they've told me what the seller will take, which is sometimes is way off what the listing price.
Well, in that case, in my opinion, they are not acting ethically.
Well, my question is,
a buyer's broker, no.
They've told me not to go to a buyer broker.
Well, of course they have.
Money.
They want the commission.
Well, don't I pay a buyer broker?
Not necessarily. There are two relationships. The buyer's broker that deals with people with listed property, they get a share of the commission, but they don't list property. They only represent buyers. Or if they represent you in negotiating with a for sale by owner, then you will pay them up to 3%. Or 3.5%.
I mentioned buyer broker, and these people tell me that their companies, that the sellers that they represent will not allow the properties to be shown to anybody with a buyer broker.
That's a lot of crap. I don't believe that.
This is what's beginning to confuse.
I don't believe that. It seems to me you've been dealing with some very unethical brokers and real estate people.
Every broker I've ever met has given me information regarding what the bottom line is on every property.
We're not supposed to do that. It's unethical.
Why does it happen?
Why do people rob banks?
For money.
Why do you think these guys are doing it? For money.
To make a sale.
To facilitate a sale, but it's wrong. I'm not telling you. Well, you know it happens.
Well, they're working with big companies, and they're telling me that if I continue to work with them, that they'll give me, advance information on listings that before they're advertised. And
that may be. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's a different matter. But what you've described to me is patently unethical and illegal.
What can my exposure be should it happen?
There's no real exposure on your part. The only question is, are you comfortable dealing with somebody who is not loyal to their client? If you are, then the answer is go for it.
Well, that's what caused me to call. I'm beginning to wonder what's going on in this crazy real.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to take a little time out, and I'm going to invite somebody in the real estate business to call. Fair enough?
Sure.
Number 703-413-8381. 703-413-8381. If you take exception to what I said, go after us. If you agree with me, that's okay too. If you want to defend the industry, that's okay too. My contention is, if you as a broker walk in with this sly look on your face and say, hey, he'll really take $20,000 less, or he's getting a divorce. That way we can really beat his brains out. That's unethical because you are representing him. Disagree? 703-413-8381. We'll be back in a minute. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. Minneapolis, hello there.
Hello?
Hello, Minneapolis.
Yes, Bruce.
You betcha.
How are you doing?
I am well, thank you.
Good.
You're in the real estate business?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay.
Have been for about 10 years. One of the top realtors in the Minneapolis area.
Okay.
And I have to agree with your statement. There is no way that anybody representing the seller should be conveying the seller's bottom line to the or what could be what the property could be purchased for to the buyer. That is not very good representation.
Well, it flies in the face of the representation. Since you were his agent, he's paying you. Your job is to get him the best price possible.
Absolutely correct. Now, one of the things I will take exception to, I'm not sure what it's like in the state that the gentleman called from, but in the state of Minnesota, we're allowed to act as a buyer broker, represent the buyer.
Yeah. I understand that, except the difference being that I would not have a buyer's agent that accepted listings, personally.
Okay.
There are a lot of things that are allowed. And there are a lot of things, for example, I did some commercials for a guy, and I think it was in Dallas, this is some time ago, and he was a buyer's agent. But he personally would not take any kind of listings. He only represented buyers. He got his commission from the seller, because he was a listed broker.
Okay.
And he shared in the commission if he consummated the deal, and the listing guy got his piece. But this fellow would not take any listings. He only represented buyers.
Really?
Now, there are also buyer's agents that work on a commission. You find a house for sale by owner, the owner doesn't pay anything, but you pay them to go to negotiate for them.
That's absolutely correct.
And there's nothing immoral about that either.
Yep, I have worked in that capacity as well.
Sure. Thank you very much for your call, my friend.
You're welcome.
Council Bluffs, hello there.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
You're very welcome.
I was in my vehicle. I just got home. I kind of missed part of the first conversation, but he didn't say if he was working with a real estate agent or a realtor.
Well, yeah, I used to correct people, but I don't correct them anymore.
Big difference, really.
There's 750,000 members of the Realtor organization.
Supposedly the largest trade organization in the nation.
Indeed, but the word is getting so ingrained in the language. About 2 months. If you've listened to me regularly, you heard me correct people.
Right.
2 months ago, I said I'm done correcting people. I had a letter from somebody. They said, you're spitting into the wind, and I think they were right.
Yeah.
It's like cellophane. It's going to be part of the language.
Clearly the people he's working with are probably not really representing the people that they work for very well.
They surely are not.
But I didn't say, are the people he's working with involved with multiple listing, or are they showing him...
I'm quite certain it's multiple.
People.
I think it's multiple listing, yes.
Okay. He really needs to find somebody, and I don't know why he's working with two brokers. If he finds somebody he's comfortable with, they should be able to show him if it's multiple listing, everything available in this area.
Well, maybe I've worked with more than one broker.
Well, sometimes it's to your advantage.
It seemed to me it was, because the one guy showed me stuff the other guy did not. And they were all in the system.
Exactly. And that's what he needs to do, is to find somebody who's willing to show him absolutely everything that's available, including things that may not be in the...
Yeah, but the point that I was trying to make is that I would not feel comfortable dealing with someone who was grossly unethical.
I would agree.
And I just drop them and find somebody else.
If he's not... the problem that he should really be addressing is if he thinks he's being shown an adequate number of properties.
Yeah, but it goes beyond that. It goes beyond that. If you and I are sitting down and do business, for the sake, I don't care what the kind of deal is, all right? And all of a sudden you're telling me about all the stuff the conniving you've done.
Obviously you wouldn't want to do business.
I don't want to do business with you. And when you're sitting there telling me, as an example, and I purchased real estate, I got some for sale as we speak, and you're sitting there telling me, well, listen, you can get a better deal because this guy's got the IRS breathing down his throat. Immediately, I don't want to do business with you.
It should pop up in your head right there.
Exactly. Because if you'll screw him,
I agree,
you will so certainly screw me.
He should not be uncomfortable, though, working with a broker who represents the seller.
I don't. I never said that.
I just wanted to,
No, but never. I specifically said there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. What I took exception to, and both you and my friend from Minneapolis have confirmed it, that the people he has discussed these things with were acting unethically. And my point of view is, if you'll act unethically in one situation, there's nothing to justify you acting ethically in the next. I don't want to do with you. That's all. Hey, thanks very, very much for your call. My thanks to my cockpit crew. You guys did a super job. I know it's not easy, but do give it your best shot. Try and do what's right, please. I'm Bruce Williams. Keep in touch. People are asking me all the time, is this financial? No. Just a program about life. Life as we live it. Yeah, this is Bruce. Welcome to Talknet. Yeah, nothing very fancy. We don't take, occasionally I talk about politics, but not very much. Don't take any strong political speaking of that, though, there's something I may mention in a moment. I mentioned it Tuesday evening in Lexington when I was doing my stage presentation there. And I think it bears mentioning, although I sound like a Johnny-come-lately, but at the time I think I was on the cutting edge of the whole thing. By the way, my telephone number is 800-743-8000, 800-743-8000. I was not particularly enthusiastic or unenthusiastic over Ms. Reno's appointment to Attorney General. I didn't think a whole lot of Mr. Clinton. There's no question about that. So far, I'm not real happy what he's been doing. But on the other hand, I did comment the other night, and a lot of others have done subsequent to that time, but nonetheless, it's no less or no more true, that at least the lady stood up and said, I'm taking a responsibility. It stops with me. I made the decision. That was a whole lot more than her baseball hat wearing boss. It took him 24 hours to figure out politically it was okay to say, I'll take the responsibility. As soon as the thing happened down at Waco, she said, I made the decision, I'll take the heat, and if I have to resign, I'll do so. She's earned a great deal more of my respect than she had, whatever that's worth. But I would suspect a great deal more of the respect of many other Americans. She did what she felt was right. I'm not going to debate the issue. But then she said, I'll take the responsibility for it. Wouldn't that be refreshing from that guy in the baseball hat? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. 800-743-8000. Let's do it. Houston, Texas, you're number one.
Good evening, Bruce.
Hi.
I need to borrow some of your abundant wisdom if I could.
Let us talk.
Okay. 10, 15 years ago, my parents passed away and left the house to my brother and myself.
All right.
And incidentally, I've decided how not to do that to my kids by listening to you.
In other words, they left an undivided interest to the two of you.
Correct.
All right.
I was married and had children living away. He was continuing to live in the home. And I agreed with the home was paid for at the time. I agreed to pay 50% of the taxes each year so that he could continue to live there.
Why was that? I mean, if he lived there, I assume free.
Yep.
Why is it necessary for you to pay the taxes, or any portion thereof?
Primarily due to the fact that he was only employed about 50% of the time for the first several years, all of it at minimum wage.
How old is this guy?
Right now he's mentally 25, physically 41, still employed at minimum wage. He's had the same employer for the last 2 years, which is a record. But I I don't want to pay the taxes anymore. I've been pulling money out of my savings, and I would like to sell the house. He obviously is not in a financial position to buy my share of the house.
No, it would appear not, and nor will he ever be.
Nor would he ever be. And my two thoughts are, if you can't buy my half of the house, I'm going to sell the whole thing, which I don't know if I can legally do.
Well, you can go to court and force it to happen, yeah.
True. I don't want to put him out on the street.
Well, that's what you're going to do.
The other thought is he buys my half of the house gradually.
Yeah, with making minimum, how much is the house worth?
Current condition 40, with fix up and repair 50.
Current condition?
Yeah.
Where is he going to come up with 20? How much does he pay right now in taxes?
$900 a year.
And you're asking him to pay off 20 grand. It ain't going to happen.
Oh, I know he's not. I know it.
Well, then the answer is, if you want to get your money out, you're going to have to force the sale.
Well, my thought is to have him continue to live in the house and essentially pay me rent.
I know exactly what you're saying, but will he do it?
His intention is, yeah, I think he will.
You really believe that? Well, if that's the case, then go for it.
I don't want to be his landlord.
Well, you're going to be.
Are there some thoughts that I should have? I'm going to see an attorney, have an agreement drawn up.
That's all this is all very well. And what you're going to do, what you're saying is that he is going to be buying your share out.
True.
And when the appropriate time comes, if and when, you will deed over your rights to the property to him.
Correct.
Yeah, except but the fly in the ointment is as soon as things get a little tough, he's not going to pay it.
I know. That's why I need some of your abundant wisdom.
Well, there's no wisdom to share. I mean, you got a couple of choices. You can stick your neck out, and maybe you're not any worse off than you are now. Let's start with that.
That's true.
Or you can just force a sale, give him his 20, you take 20, and that's the end of that. Which you'll probably dissipate in short order. Right?
True. I just wonder if there's some third option I hadn't thought of.
Well, I can't think of any. I mean, you're not going to find a lender to lend him the money.
No.
I mean, even if he would have a 50% equity immediately, but he's still making $200 a week.
That's right.
Is he married?
He recently married a lady who has children from a previous marriage.
Terrific.
She was employed before they got married, and then she quit her minimum wage job and stayed at home.
Oh, is that nice?
Yeah, terrific again.
I think you're in a lose situation.
I know. That's what I told you.
I'm not laughing at you, and I'm laughing with you, I guess.
I know it. As I said, I was just trying to...
Well, you have nothing to lose by entering into a contract. Clearly, it's just a contract. That if he pays you so much a month for so many years, you'll deed your equity over to him. You have nothing whatever to lose. You should have an attorney prepare the document so that there's some kind of an amortization.
Sure.
Whether or not you want to charge him interest is your business.
And any thoughts on foreclosure?
No, we're back to the same thing again.
Yeah.
You don't. I mean, you've come full circle. You didn't want to do that.
I know. No, I mean, should he cease making the payments in it?
Well, you can. Again, it would be foreclosure. Really, it's going to force a sale. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's true.
I do wish you well, kid.
Thank you very much.
Take good care. I'm Bruce Williams. I am indeed. And this is Talknet. Alrighty, Appleton, you've been very, very patient. You know that's appreciated. What's on your mind?
Bruce.
Yes.
Greetings from the Dairy State.
Yes, indeed.
The reason I'm calling is I have a small business. I'm a bovine pedicurist. In other words,
Yeah, cut the cow's toenails.
You bet.
What do you do with them when you cut them?
Well, exactly what do you mean? What am I doing?
What do you do with after you cut the toenails? What do you do with the toenails?
Oh, okay. Well, they're just, usually I'm in the barnyard and they just, are part of, trash or...
How big are they?
If a farmer's up on top of things and he's on a regular program, we take off anywhere from a quarter to a half an inch.
Oh, a little bit. 'Cause the reason I ask is they sell those things.
Yeah, I think they do for, when the cow's going for culling, they take and, use them for, glue or something.
Use them for dog food. Dogs love to chew on the cow's toenails.
Yeah, I know that. A lot of where I work, they're always chewing on them.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because I know we buy them for the dogs. They cow's hooves.
Yeah, they do like them too. Cause
they sure do.
Well, the reason I'm calling is I got a gentleman that's interested in buying my business.
Huh.
And I don't even have a clue what would be a fair price for it.
Well, what does it do? I mean, how much, this is a one-man operation. I was going to say one horse, but I didn't dare. One-man operation, right?
Yep.
How much do you make a year?
Between 60 and 90K.
That's a big range. How come
Well, it depends how much you want to work. If you take a little more time off...
well, how much do you work?
I work about 5 days a week. I take, maybe 3 weeks off for vacation, so on and so forth.
Oh, that's civilized.
And,
how much do you make in 92?
About 61.
How much of this would stick if you sold me the business?
All of it.
And there's very little in the way of equipment that I can visualize.
Well, the way we do it, there's some of the people that trim, they lay the cows over on their sides. And that's not very comfortable for the cow. And the type of equipment I use is she's always standing upright, and it's all hydraulic. And the equipment costs right around $26,000.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I mean, a cow costs you $10 to cut a human's toenails, and it costs $26,000 to cut a cow's.
Well, that's what the equipment costs. We charge $12 a cow is what we get. We take care of all 4 feet and any bandaging and stuff like that. But
how often does a cow have to have her nails clipped?
Well, that depends. The higher the herd average, the more production she's getting. Then that means the more energy she's getting fed. And that determines hoof growth, anywhere from once to twice a year. Some cows will need a little more often, some maybe not quite as often. And then the bigger herds, the freestall herds, actually need more trimming than the taller, the tie stall, smaller herds. Because the foot's always in where it's moist, and the foot grows faster than when it's in the tie stall where it's dry. And that makes a difference.
Things I didn't know about cows' feet.
Yeah, well, there's people out here making business doing that, so.
Oh, let me see, $12 a cow. $10 is 10 cows, 120. 100 cows is 12,000, right?
Yep.
Is my arithmetic correct there?
Well, wait.
Let me try it again. $12 times 10 is 120.
Yep.
Times 100 is 1,200.
Yep.
Times 1,000 is 12,000.
Yep.
You 12,000? Is that correct?
Well, yeah, if 1,000 cows at $12, it'd be 12.
Yeah. 12,000. How many cows do you do a year?
Oh, between 5 and 6, maybe more, depending again on how much you want to work.
5,000. That's 20,000 toes.
Yeah, right.
That's a lot of legs.
I got a friend of mine. He's trimmed over 100,000 cows.
In 1 year?
No, and since he's been in business.
In a lifetime, 100,000. $1,000,000 too.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
That's a lot of nails. Well, it would seem to me that if the business would stick. Is it real competitive, or do your accounts stay with you?
Well, no, my accounts stay with me, and a couple of reasons why I do a good job, of course, but the reason is with the equipment I have is it's very easy on the cow, and we don't layer on her side. All the other hoof trimmers in the area, other than my partner that I work with, not a partner, but a friend I work with, has the old style chute where the cow is laid on her side. And we're the only ones in this area. This equipment's available out west is where it's predominantly available. And we're the only ones in this part of the country that's got this kind of equipment.
Well, I would think that a business that is doing as well as yours, and I don't mean this in any way pejoratively, but it doesn't require a super amount of training, does it?
Well, yeah, it takes training. If you were just to want to go and be trained, it costs about $8,000.
If I wanted to buy the business from you, how long would it take to train me?
About 2 months.
All right, then there's not a whole lot of training involved.
Okay, true.
You know, as contrasted with you want to be an accountant, it's going to take you 4 or 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
Physician, 10, 12 years, so forth.
And a lot more money in schooling and so on.
Indeed. I would think you'd probably up there. Are you able to finance a chunk of this?
Yeah, I would take a down payment and then finance the rest.
You'd probably talk about 100,000 or more, 125.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but I didn't really have a clue where to start.
Well, I think that's a pretty good number.
All right.
I'd start with 100. Again, the more paper you're prepared to carry,
the higher it should be.
The higher it should be, exactly so.
All right, then what would be a fair interest rate, would you say?
Well, again, in today's world, 10% maybe.
Okay. All right.
Prime plus a couple of points. I mean, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, because I was looking, the gentleman was looking at like 40 to 50 down that we talked about a little bit. And that's what he said he'd be willing to put down. Is that a fair or?
Oh, I think that's more than I would have expected.
Okay.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, because
I got one quickie for you. Why do you want to sell it?
Well, I'm originally from the western part of the state.
Yeah.
And all my family's back there, and I could go back there and start up a new business because nobody over there's got this kind of work.
Oh, you're going to go right back in the same racket, huh?
Well, I'm making that kind of money, why not?
No, you're not going to quarrel with me, kid.
No.
I do wish you well.
Thanks a lot, Bruce.
I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. KSTP, the talk station. From Appleton, we go to Boise, Idaho. If you can cut toenails on a cow, I'm going to hang up on you.
Never have done it.
What's on your mind?
I'm not even good at dogs and cats.
There you go. Oh, my, I would never cut my dog's toenails. I'm always the guy that hits the nerve or hits the little, forget it. My skin crawls.
No, everywhere.
What's on your mind?
I've got a little insurance dispute that maybe you could give me some guidelines on.
I'm listening.
About 6 weeks prior, my daughter was hit by another car, in her car.
All right.
The man, in trying to save insurance costs, said, would you please not turn this into my insurance? I will pay for it myself.
Well, I take it there was only damage to her car, not to her.
Well, not to her, that's correct.
To her body, I'm talking about.
Correct.
Okay.
No damage to his truck. Pretty minor damage to the car even, but it's still...
Okay, so what happened?
The man says, please don't turn that to my insurance, I'll take care of it.
How long ago was this?
About 6 weeks.
And was there a police report filed?
No.
How much damage to your daughter's car?
About 200.
Oh, and then probably under the threshold where you had to file a police report.
Probably. We wish we'd had done it just for...
Now what's the matter? Is she denying that it happened now?
No, not yet. But what's happening, he keeps stalling me. We're looking at 6 weeks now. He says, well, I can't pay it today. I've got my mortgage due. And I says, well, look, I've got to have some time frame. Let me have something. He says 2 weeks. So I let him go 2 weeks. And now he's calling me back saying I don't have the money. And I'm just a little concerned that this may go on for quite some time.
Well, here's the thing. You cannot in any way claim against his insurance company. You realize that?
No, I didn't.
Well, you can't. You can only claim against him. He, in turn, has to elect whether he answers your summons if you decide to sue him, or turns it over to his insurance company. You have no relationship with that insurance company as we speak. None.
What is my procedure? What procedure?
You have to. There's only one procedure: take him to court, and that would be small claims court. When he gets hit with a summons, he has a choice. Now he has to answer it or lose by default, and then you try to collect from him, or turn it over to his insurance company. They in turn will answer or will contact you and pay you, or they will say, no, we're not going to pay you. Our guy says we didn't do it, and we'll see it, and they'll go to court. So those are your only choices. That's it.
So I shouldn't have any contact with his insurance at all?
That's not the question. You have no right to contact them until such time as an act. Stick around. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet.
Information. KSTP, the talk station.
I am chatting with a gentleman in Boise, Idaho. And I really didn't want to hang up on you because you're walking out here with I don't think quite understand the situation. Your daughter got in an accident, the guy said, I want to pay, and you're talking about the insurance company, right?
Yes.
The insurance company owes you nothing.
That's true.
They have no obligations to you.
But shouldn't they be aware of this?
It's up to him to make them aware. You can make them aware, it doesn't mean anything. Hey, there's nothing, you can call them, and they can go back to their client, and the client can say, I'm handling it. They're not going to pursue it any further.
Okay. What should my approach with him?
Well, the approach is I'm going to start an action in small claims court against you. Now you're going to have to make a choice. Pay me or notify your insurance company or lose by default. Or work out a payment. Did you offer to work out a payment schedule with him?
$50 every 2 weeks.
And what did he say?
He agreed to it.
And then he didn't pay you.
Well, it's been 2 weeks later, and I haven't...
And then your approach, the easiest thing to do is to get him off center. Because he's got a couple of choices here, and that's why I came back to you. If he doesn't pay you, if you go to, and this is true in most states, I would hope it's true in yours. If he doesn't pay, if you go to small claims court, right?
Yes.
You get a judgment. If he doesn't pay you, you can get his license lifted. That's a strong stimulator to get for somebody to pay.
Yeah.
I'd tell him exactly what I'm going to do. And you can also tell him, because he probably doesn't know any better, that you're going to notify his insurance company.
That was my pressure 2 weeks ago, that I had to have something committed to. I said,
and what did he say?
Work with you, but I need to have you commit to me.
And what did he say?
He says, fine.
Yeah, he'll lie and do anything he can to stall.
Exactly. And that's what I want to try to avoid any further.
Well, you can't. You really can't. You're holding a very weak hand.
Exactly. But I'd like to get it resolved, and I have no desire to sting him with anything, but...
I understand that.
I just want to get it settled.
But you have a weak hand.
Yeah.
I wish you well.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Okay, guys. St. Cloud, Florida, hello.
Yes, good evening, Bruce.
Hello there.
I have a real estate problem.
All right.
And this is how it goes. I purchased a home in St. Cloud for $37,500 5 years ago. And I currently have a fixed rate of 10.5. And when I went to refinance, I was told that the banks would not refinance because I have what is called a non-conforming structure. It's called that because it does not meet the setbacks that were put into effect. In this case, long after it was built. It was built in 1925, and setbacks went into effect in 1969.
I don't see why that's a problem.
Yeah, well, the banks...
I know what you're telling me. I don't see why. I own 2 properties I can think of, both of which were mortgaged, both of which were non-conforming, in not only non-conforming in that regard, but non-conforming in terms of the zone. And I had no problem financing them.
Because I have gone to 6 different banks. I have right in front of me, I have a refusal from one of the banks. My application was denied, and the property offered as collateral deemed inadequate is the box they checked off.
Well, inadequate in what regard?
Well, inadequate in this regard. I have a letter from the city of St. Cloud defining non-conforming structure in this case.
Yeah.
And it says the structure located on the parcel appears to be non-conforming. Such structure does not meet the front or street side setbacks. If the house were to...
Is more than 50% destroyed... Oh, let me pick it up on it. If it's more than 50% destroyed, it's got to be torn down.
No, a variance from the Board of Adjustment would be required.
To rebuild.
Permit would be issued to rebuild.
Yeah. Or if it's more than 50%, right?
Right.
Well, that's true. I mean, you want to build the skunk works there. If you get a variance, it's okay.
Yeah, but that if the house were to be damaged, apparently is too big an if for banks these days.
Well, it may be too big an if for Fannie Mae or one of those organizations.
And because the rates are so low, everybody's going to the secondary market with their loans.
Well, that's part of the problem.
Yes.
That you can't find somebody to put it on the shelf.
Right, so it not only means I can't refinance, but if, for example, you wanted to purchase it, then you went to the local banks.
You might have a hard time financing it, that's right.
So I can't refinance it, and I can't, in all practical purposes, I can't sell the house either. And,
all right, and I don't know the answer to this.
Only residence, and
I don't know the answer to this. I beg your pardon?
This is my only residence and so on. It's a big concern to me.
I don't know if this is possible. This is a question you might want to talk to an attorney about. Could you get a variance now that would legitimize the building?
I have spoken to the zoning people, and they said no.
Why did they say no?
I don't know if they gave me a reason.
Well, I don't even know if they know.
Like that.
I don't know if they know. I don't know if it can be done either.
Right.
But I'd certainly find out if a variance could be issued to legitimize the use. It's non-conforming, so it is legitimate. I'll tell you what you do. You know, I'll tell you how you can maybe get around that, which would legitimize it. Apply for some kind of minor. See, you can't add or you can't do anything to that building.
Right.
You're not allowed to. Come up with something very minor. Okay?
Okay.
And then apply for a variance. I think that would legitimize the whole operation. You can check with there's an attorney out there who knows something about zoning, okay?
Okay.
Listen, I understand your problem. There's no point in restating it.
Well, I'm not restating it. I just have a follow-up question. Okay.
What's that?
In my title insurance.
It has nothing to do with title insurance.
Okay, because it says something about unmarketability, and I just wanted to ask you about.
Yeah, but that's not because of the title. Okay, this is an act, an official act of the government.
All right, now
and it is not unmarketable, just unmortgageable.
Unmortgageable.
It's clearly marketable. It's a non-conforming use. I own 2 properties that are non-conforming, and they're clearly marketable. Now, how big a lot do you have?
I have a 50 by 150. The lot is conforming.
All right, then the house could be conforming if it were moved to another location on the property.
Absolutely.
Well, then it's rebuildable then. It was destroyed. You just rebuild it in the appropriate place.
So why are the banks viewing this?
I'm going to ask you a real stupid question. Well, that's a pretty inexpensive house. So what would it cost to move it?
It would cost about $8,000 to move it
to a new foundation and so on and so forth.
Right.
I'm going to see if I can find me an attorney who might know something about zoning more than I, and I thought I know a little bit about zoning. Could this gentleman
take the property to the Board of Adjustment and just ask for a variance to legitimize, as opposed to being a non-conforming use? Or alternatively, could he apply for a minor change in the building? Would the new variance then, because it took into account the side yards and rear yards and the lack of conformance, then legitimize it to a point where he could get a mortgage? Number 703-413-8381. 703-413-8381. If you're an attorney, you know something about zoning or a zoning member of zoning board of adjustment or whatever. Now I realize that this is going to vary from locale to locale. But I'm just kind of curious as to what your thoughts might be. 800-413-8381. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet. We had a call from a real estate appraiser in El Paso. Let's talk to her. Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
In El Paso, of course, I realize this is not Florida, but what we do, our zoning laws became effective in 1956.
Right.
So anything prior to that time doesn't have to, but we have to make sure that it did not sneak by.
No, it's a we've gotten past that. It's a non-conforming use.
So what the people do here is they get 3 people to...
No, we don't have any problem. It's a non-conforming use. The problem is, what happens if one of those buildings is burned down?
Then you have to build it according to the present.
That's exactly the problem we're having here. I understand that. That's common. But we're trying to find out a way to legitimize it now.
I don't know.
Well, that's what I was getting to. You see, I understand that much. That's pretty common. But what happens if it can't be built, or if it's only a 50% loss? You understand why the lender doesn't want to loan any money.
Yes, I do.
And there would be there may be. I'm looking for somebody to find a way to legitimize it so that wouldn't be a problem. That's all.
It would have to be by variance.
That's what I understand that too. What I want to know is, can you get a variance now? And I don't know. And I just deal with the Board of Adjustment. I just don't know the answer to that.
I don't either.
Okay, sweetheart. Thank you so very much. Somerset, New Jersey, your turn.
Hi.
WCTC Country, hello there.
Hi, thanks for taking my call, Bruce.
You're very welcome. What part of Somerset do you live in?
We live in Franklin Park, New Jersey.
You don't?
Yes.
You're a neighbor of mine.
That you were once governor, mayor?
Governor? No, I was the mayor. That's here. Where in Franklin Park do you live? Let's narrow this down.
Behind the food town on Route 27?
Yeah, the Hobnavians.
Yes.
Sure, you're a neighbor of mine. You live about a half a mile from where I have a home.
Really?
Yes, you do.
Wow.
Son of a gun. What's on your mind, dear?
Well, my husband and I were planning to go on vacation this year on a cruise.
Hey, that's a great idea. Go with me.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm calling you.
Son of a gun.
I understand that you've been on a lot of these, so...
Oh, I'm running a cruise in summer. This summer to Alaska.
We're just kind of torn between... There's 2 particular cruises that we're looking at.
Okay, talk to me.
Going to the Western Caribbean, Ocho Rios, Grand Cayman, Cozumel.
That would be my last choice.
Really?
In the Caribbean, yes.
Oh.
I've gone that one. I don't like it. I mean, you may like it. I don't. The only place in that list that is worthwhile, in my opinion, is Grand Cayman.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you'd rather...
I wouldn't go.
The other choice is the Southern Caribbean.
Which is?
Martinique, Barbados, Antigua, St. Martin, St. Thomas.
I'd go on that one. Martinique, I think, is a disaster, but the rest of them are okay. I was there in November.
Okay.
I just don't care for Martinique, and I've expressed that prejudice on the air many times. I don't like the island, don't like its people. They're not friendly. They think they're hot stuff, and I wouldn't spend a nickel there. But Antigua, on the other hand, is a very, very pleasant place.
Really?
Barbados is an extremely pleasant place.
Good.
St. Thomas is pleasant. St. Martin is a great. I guess it's okay. It's not one of my favorite places, but I have nothing bad to say about it. But Martinique, I'd stay in a boat. You're laughing. I couldn't be more serious.
Really? Oh, good. Okay.
There's a ferry boat from downtown that takes you over one of the beach areas. You might want to do that. But aside from that, there's just nothing there worth seeing, in my opinion. The shopping is nothing to get excited about. I don't know why they stopped there.
Where's the good shopping area?
Oh, clearly the places you mentioned. St. Thomas.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
As far as where on the ship we should be.
Are you on a budget?
Well,
Are you on a budget? That's a yes or a no.
Yes, but...
Then take the cheapest cabin you can get. Because you're not going to spend much time. I assume that you're relatively young and you're going to be out and about, right?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Well, given that set of circumstances, why spend a lot of money?
The question is it going to be rough at night?
No.
No?
It doesn't make the slightest bit of difference.
Oh, okay. All right.
Not the slightest.
Okay, great. All right.
I do wish you well, dear.
Thank you very
much. You have a great cruise. And I'll see you in a boot down someday. I'm Bruce Williams. This is Talknet.
Oshkosh, Princeton, Ventura, thanks for joining us on Talknet.
La Crosse, Wisconsin. Hello there, how are you?
Hello, how are you, Bruce?
I am cooking along, kid. What's on your mind?
Well, you gave me some good advice last year, and Happy New Year to you. Maybe you can give me some good advice this year.
Kind of equipment on my head, but go ahead.
I had some extra money left over for my bonus, and it's about $2,000. And I'm trying to decide whether to apply that $2,000 to the principal on my car loan, on my boat loan, or on my house loan. And I ran an amortization table, and I figured out how much I would save in interest, but I don't know which one would be the best.
Well, we'll go back a little bit. You mentioned two different kinds of loans, really, two consumer loans and one mortgage.
Right.
Now, both of the consumer loans, I have to presume, are Rule of 78 loans, are they not?
Yes.
Well, in that case, the likelihood is at this point that there'd be no major advantage in prepaying them. You'd be better off to pay the mortgage.
Okay. Well, the only thing on my boat loan, it's a $30,000 boat.
Whew.
So it's
a $30,000 boat.
Well, it's actually a little more. The loan I had to take out was $30,000, but
and how is that computed? The Rule of 78?
Oh, I guess it wouldn't be because it's on a 12-year.
Well, you don't have to guess. You have to know. Really, you got to know.
Well, what I did is I punched it in just the same as if it was a mortgage loan.
Well, you can't do that though. Okay. That's not valid.
Okay.
You got to know how the interest was computed. Now you have to go back to the note to figure that out.
Okay, I'll have to look that up then because I just assumed it was running the same way as my house.
I don't think that's a fair assumption at all.
Okay.
Could be, but certainly you can't assume that.
Okay.
You got to go out and take a look and see.
Well, when I ran it, it came up with the exact payment what I'm paying. You know, when I ran the amortization table on my computer.
Yeah.
For the length of the loan and the interest rate and the principal
What's the interest rate on the boat loan?
The boat loan's 11.9.
And the house?
Is 11.
Well, you see, there's another factor here too. But the house interest is deductible. The boat loan interest is not.
That I count on my federal because it qualifies as a second home.
Oh, the boat
doesn't in the state, but it does in the federal.
Oh, okay. It is your second home, huh?
Yes.
How much of all the state income taxes? That's not that big. The state income tax is not that big a factor.
No.
And what's the interest rate in the car?
Car is 10.75.
So the car, I think you're going to find, is not paid a monkey with. You probably paid most of the interest up front already.
Okay.
And I don't know how the interest on the boat was calculated. So in the absence of that, I can't give you an answer.
Okay. If we go on the assumption that it is the same as the house, I figured I'd save.
If it is the same, then you'd pay off the higher interest loan then.
Okay. So go for the boat.
If that is the higher interest.
Okay, well I figured I'd only save $1,859 there versus $15,000 on my house in interest. So I could almost save 2 years of payment by applying $1,000 to the house.
Yeah, but you see, that's Mickey Mouse thinking.
Okay.
Why?
I called you.
Well, why? Because you're thinking because the house is going to be is a 30-year proposition as opposed to the boat is a much shorter deal, right?
Right.
But the other side of that is you have the use of the money for those extra years.
Okay.
Now, what are you going to do with that? Just you're going to stuff it into the mattress, it gets lumpy.
Right.
It's going to be doing something for you, so that something has to be discounted.
Okay. So the boat would probably be the most logical place.
Well, look, other things being equal, assuming the interest is calculated in the same way,
okay.
I don't think it's arguable that since there's no tax implication worth discussing, you pay off the higher interest loan
the quicker.
Okay.
But you see, I understand exactly what you're saying about the mortgage loan, but you discounted the fact that you had the use of the money all those years.
Right.
I do wish you well, kid.
Okay, thank you, and Happy New Year.
Same to you. The Big D, Dallas, Texas. Hello there. Welcome to my world.
Hello.
Hello there.
Second time caller. Nobody from Dallas.
Son of a gun. Hello there, nobody. What's happening?
Listen, Bruce, I need your advice. I have got a condominium that I own, and there's a unit above me, identical floor plan. It's been vacant for, probably 4 months. I wrote a letter to the management company to notify the owner to get the unit winterized if there was not an occupant up there by the winter. And it's been pretty cold here.
Well, but most of the winterization would be on the part of the association, because the pipes are in the walls belong to the condominium association.
This is true. However, the tenant moved out. The association has acknowledged my letter. However, of course, the pipes broke up and flooded twice.
Oh, boy.
And it's ruined, just everything. And I've talked to an attorney, and he's told me that I have basically 2 options. One is to go for gross negligence or deceptive trade practices. And I don't know. What is your opinion on that? What would you...
Let's back up a little bit.
By the way, let me add in this. Yeah. The power was cut off and the back windows were left open.
In the apartment upstairs. This has been abandoned, I take it.
I guess so. I doubt the owner still owns it, so I'm going to go for the deepest pockets.
Well, who does own it?
Well, I've got to check the tax records. I'm hoping it's some S&L somewhere. But if it hasn't been foreclosed yet...
Then it's the owner then. It's still the owner. But you see, the pipes and the walls are all the responsibility of your condominium association.
So, well, yeah, they were very apologetic.
Well, what are they doing about it?
Well, nothing yet. They've got to get the insurance adjuster
Well,
down
that's
here.
the next thing, because the sudden bursting of pipes is covered by insurance ordinarily. Yours as well as theirs.
Correct. My personal property I managed to protect, so the liabilities are on them. And I just want, this is the second year in a row this has happened to me, and I just want to demonstrate to them that I'm not fooling around with this again.
And the condominium association's taken no steps to keep this place heated. Because clearly, while the interior of the condominium is the owner's responsibility, it has a direct effect on me, on you and on them.
Yes, sir.
On the condominium itself, because the walls and whatever are owned by that association.
Well, the attorney seems to be wanting to go for deceptive trade, and I can't follow that path.
I don't understand that logic.
It's triple damages.
But when does he find deceptive trade practices? I don't understand it.
I don't understand that either. I fail to see the logic in deceptive trade, because they never guaranteed me that they would. All they did was send me a copy of acknowledging they received my letter, and they forwarded it to the owner. You know, I never know if he got it or...
Well, your attorney is clearly going to go what he considers, the deepest pockets and the deepest penalties. Yeah. And if he's successful, hooray for your side from that perspective.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, have you discussed this with the condo association? The president, the vice president, the management of the property. I mean, it would just seem to me there's some practical things that could be going on here, like turn the heat on upstairs during the wintertime.
Well, they were apparently grossly negligent on that part, and I notified them back in September in writing.
But I mean, let's start with we have I only got a couple of seconds here. We have 2 situations. The current situation, this could happen again.
That's true, Nick.
Or how about this year?
Yeah, that's true, too.
I mean, the winter is hard, at least on my watch, winter's not over yet. Here, it's only January.
Yeah.
So that it would seem to me at 2 situations, what has already transpired, that's history, and that has to be maybe adjudicated someplace. But what are we doing to see that it doesn't happen tomorrow? The next day it gets a little drafty in Dallas. And the answer there is it would seem that somebody in the association or the management group ought to have the heat turned on upstairs at their expense and keep it at a minimal temperature so that the walls don't freeze, or the pipes in the walls don't freeze up again. I doubt if you have the right to do that, even if you wanted to do it, but certainly they do. And that's what I'd be pressing. Good luck, dear. I'm Bruce Williams for Talknet.